you're going to love.
Talk Radio. Talk Radio.
Now, here's the problem. We are woefully underprepared for tonight's show. We're having a competition. I haven't done one in years. I don't know how to do them. And I haven't recorded the podcast links. Balls!
You up my senses like a night in a forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You up my senses, come me again, come let me you, let me give my to you, let me drown in your laughter, let me die in your arms, let me lay down beside you, let me always be with you, come let me you, come me again. Like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You up my senses, come me again.
Evening, dear listener. Iain Lee, Talk Radio. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I was busy. I was doing other stuff before the show. It's been a weird day, right? And today's show, and I'm not going to reveal any confidences, but I had a really, a very upsetting email, which you know about, Kath, and I'm not going to go into it at the moment. It might be appropriate further down the line, quite a long way down the line, but I had an upsetting email today about stuff, but don't even matter what. Don't even concern yourself with what, okay? It's not me personally, it's just, something that may or may not have happened. And it's really, then I had to go to hospital for whatever reason. Not me again, someone else. So it's been a really weird day where I've just kind of felt the day hasn't got any traction. Oh, and didn't I say the other day when David Guest died that we'd start having natural phenomena? Well, it was raining. And there was an earthquake somewhere. There've been two earthquakes since David Guest died. Honestly, I think we're on the cusp of something massive here. So the day has really felt like it's not got traction. It's not started, and it's Friday, and then the weekend's coming up, and it's all a bit up in the air, right? So in light of that, I was feeling quite is there a word for how I was feeling quite introspective is a little bit poncy. Well, no, it's not, isn't it? It works. I was feeling a little bit introspective, and I genuinely thought we could do the whole show just going, look, we've made it to the end of the week. Another week. Let's just stop. Maybe we can still do this, actually. And it will be better than it sounds. It'll be heartwarming. Imagine a radio show that was heartwarming. We've made it to the end of another week, okay? Some of us made it. Some of us, like David Guest and the voice of Mind the Gap, didn't make it. It didn't make it, right? Why don't we just stop on a Friday night at 7 minutes past 10 and just check how we're doing? Just check how we're doing. Are we still here? Have we lost anything or anyone important? How are we getting on? How are we getting on? And I'm kind of, 42, I'm guessing, I'm sort of hoping, I'm in literally the middle of, this is the middle of my life. This is the middle of my life. And I'm kind of really thinking, how's it all going? Now would be a good time to sit back and take stock and just see how everything's going. So I kind of thought that, and I was driving in and I was stuck in terrible, terrible traffic on the M4. And if you listen to this show over the next 6 months, I'll give you enough clues so you can work out exactly where I live. And the first person to knock on my door will win £5. That's clue number 6, by the way, I've just given you. And I was driving in and I was thinking, how do we do this? How do we do this so it doesn't sound... I'm not worried about it sounding pompous or pretentious, because it's not pretentious, because I would mean it, you see. How do we do it and drive the show along? By the way, if you want to call in on that, 0844 499 1000. And then I thought, well, it's 4 weeks into a new radio station and everyone's enjoying the twitting about. Maybe it's too dramatic a gear shift to kind of do it 4 weeks in, but then why don't... By the way, one day next week, we're going to do a show... I'm going to regret saying this, but if I don't say it out loud, it won't happen. We're going to do a show where it's new callers only. Yeah, I know. It's going to be hard work for me, primarily, but we'll do it one day next week, okay? And I need to say it out loud so that it's out there now and we'll actually do it. One day next week... Pick a day. Not Wednesday, because James Buckley's coming in. We'll pick it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. One day next week. James Buckley's co-hosting the show with me on Wednesday for the whole show. Jay from the In-Betweeners. I'm starting. It could be a car crash, or it could be the best thing ever. I don't know. Or it could just be all right. Be one of those three. It'll either be brilliant, rubbish, or all right. And I was thinking, how can we do a show where we kind of... Because I tell you what we've had. I had another email, right, or maybe it was a tweet. I think it was an email, right, from someone, and this got me, because we talk a lot about like mental health and depression and stuff like that, and I've been honest with you, perhaps a little bit too honest. I don't know, and I know that lots of you have been honest with me, and the majority of you have appreciated that honesty from me and from other people, right? So there's been some idiots and stuff, but the majority of people have appreciated it. And someone emailed me, and he said, it's really interesting, what you do when you talk about depression, Ian, is you normalise it, or when you and the callers, is you normalise it because you don't do, and this hadn't dawned on me, you don't do, okay guys, tonight we're doing a depression special. We don't use the word special to say, we don't use the word special in many contexts now, but to say, well, tonight we're going to do a mental health special, and we've got a nurse coming on, and we've got someone who tried to commit suicide, and we'll be taking your calls on how depression has affected you and your family for the first hour. In the second hour, it's should we ban diesel vehicles in London? And it dawned on me that it's interesting because we haven't done it as a special. It's just kind of popped up in the conversation, and it popped up when we had the excellent author Matt Haig on, because he's written a book about it, but it wasn't the bulk of the interview. And it's popped up if I have a crap day, and it's popped up if you've had a crap day and you want to phone me, and we're all just kind of feeling our way around, right? I don't know what I'm saying, and I'm all right with not knowing what I'm saying, so just dig it and bear with me. So what am I trying to say? Let me think. You can come on and talk about whatever you want, I guess is the short thing. And you can come on and say, do you know what? I've had a really crap day. I've had a row with my husband, and my kids peed me off, and yesterday I was suicidal, and today I had too much. You can do all that, and not feel judged. Does that make sense? I'm trying to do something with this show. A good friend of mine, Alex Lowe, got in touch today. You may know him. He was the gardener in Peter's Friends. He was. And he said, I'm really enjoying the show. I thought it would be the same stuff that you did at Absolute, like 5-6 years ago. 0844 499 1000. Where it was like a load of lunatics phoning in. And he said, there's elements of that, which is great, but it's also a bit more grown up and a bit more mature. And I totally get what he means. A few years ago, I would have been offended at something like that, but I totally get what he means. Smudge has dropped off. Should we get Smudge back? What am I trying to say? I don't know. I'm getting tongue-tied. And again, this is another joy of this show, is that I can come in and I can kind of just kick around an idea without actually having thought it out. A lot of other shows someone will come in, they'll have a scripted bit and they'll read it. And I'm trying to express myself, and I'm not doing it brilliantly. And you know what? That's all right as well. 0844 499 1000. Do you know what? We will do it, and we might not get any calls on it, and that's groovy. How you doing? We'll have that, shall we? That's that bit, right? And that's kind of happening over there, and we can bring that bit forward when we need to. Two other bits that we need to do. Oh, Kath, can you get the book when you get a moment for the competition, right? Competition. Come to that in a second. Another bit is if you download the podcasts, God, I would get in so much trouble if I did a rambling, meandering opening like this at the BBC or anywhere else. If you get the podcast, you notice that we record a couple of minutes at the beginning, and a couple of minutes at the end. We haven't done that today, partly because I was busy uploading some stuff on Facebook about the monkeys, and partly because TalkSport were recording some stuff in the booth in which we normally go and do it, right? So, we need someone to call in 0844 499 1000 and record the podcast links, we call them. So the start of the podcast and the end of the podcast. That's another thing, and I'm going to put that over there. Third thing, right? When we're at the BBC, you're not allowed to do competitions. Not allowed to do competitions. Just not allowed to, right? And before that, I was at Absolute, and we did competitions a bit. I haven't done a competition on the radio for 6 years. For 6 years. Right. Yesterday we had Tommy James on, author of who wrote Moni Moni and I think We're Alone Now, and he wrote a brilliant autobiography. We've got a spare copy. I was going to send that spare copy to my sister because I'm allowed to do that in commercial. I can nick the prizes. But she's got it already. So we've got a book to give away, but I have no idea how to do a competition. So, my head is bubbling with this. 08444. Maybe I brought it in already. I might have it. 0844 499 1000. We need someone. We need a competition to choose the best competition. So you lot need to come up with the competition to choose the best competition to give away the Tommy James book. Does any of that make sense? Alan, does that make sense?
Yes, it does, definitely.
Well, if it makes sense to Alan, we're all screwed. 0844 499 1000. We're going to do that next week. We're going to have a show. It's new callers only who've never called me before. Now, bearing in mind, we're the only show that gets any phone calls. It's going to be a tough 3 hours. We'll make sure we have a good guest. We'll have loads in the papers, but it's going to be hard work. And it might be a complete disaster. But again, that's the joy of doing this show. I don't mind it if I don't mind if the show doesn't work. If we're trying something different and it doesn't work. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Alan Caddick.
Good evening, Ian.
Speaking of things that don't work, literally.
JK.
Well, it's true, Alan. You use my hard-earned tax to bet on the horses, and I respect you for it.
Okay. I've got a couple of things for you tonight.
Go on, Alan.
First of all, the competition used to bring back the Coliseum.
Bring back the Coliseum?
Yeah, which you did at Absolute.
Oh, I don't remember that. Explain the rules of that. I've got no idea what you're talking about.
You get two people
to
discuss the yin and yang of two different like chocolate or vanilla. One people discussing about chocolate, one person discussing about vanilla.
Did we do that? That sounds dull.
Well, that's Absolute Radio.
That's that. Well,
it's even been mentioned in Wikipedia.
I don't remember that at all.
It's been mentioned in Wikipedia. But Andy Parker from HSBC created it.
I remember him creating a game. I don't remember what the rules were.
Well, it's on
Don't say,
Wikipedia.
Don't, you said it again. The thing about Wikipedia, do you know what was on there for about 2 years? And every time I took it off, they kept putting it back and they banned me. I am not allowed to change my own Wikipedia page, right? Because I kept correcting it when it said I was a gay cowboy.
Okay.
I have never ridden a horse in my life.
Oh, no!
Well, you have. You've been on a...
I'm mentioned on there saying I've got a semi-comprehensible accent.
Sorry?
I'm mentioned on there under the Sunday night show saying a gentleman from the West Midlands who call in every week asking for the topics and have a semi-comprehensible accent.
Literally, the only thing I got out of that was the phrase semi-comprehensible accent, and that couldn't have been about you.
It was. And I'm regularly impersonating when the calls are straight to air.
Here's the thing about Wikipedia, right? It's it's rubbish, right? It's rubbish, Wikipedia. And I've started, I'm annoyed with myself, right? Because if I want to revise a guest or something really quickly, I'll go to Wikipedia. And that's lazy. And do you know what? I'm going to stop doing that, because then that means there's only about 6 facts about each person on there. And that means that they're always going to get asked the same things. Let's destroy. Can we hack? How do we hack? Here's a question for you, Alan. How do I hack?
Yeah. How do you hack Wikipedia?
I want to hack computer sites, and I want to put up pictures of
naked women.
2 naked women. Yeah, sure. Why not? Do you see when this was brilliant? This was about a year ago, right? And ISIS said, so-called ISIS said, okay, what do you have to do? I don't think I'll do the ISIS voice. They said, right, what we want you to do, as well as going around blowing up places, we want you to infiltrate the infidels' decadent World Wide Web and hack their websites, right? And so ISIS tried to hack websites, and the only website they managed to hack was, I think, the bus service website for Plymouth. So so people were logging on to the bus service website for Plymouth, and there was a picture of an ISIS flag, and it said like "Death to the West" or something. This was about a year ago, 18 months ago. As far as I'm aware, and I've not been to Plymouth for a while. If you're in Plymouth, 08444991000. If you're still free to call,
call you back?
Yep. If you're still free to call, did ISIS win? Did them taking down that vital bus timetable information on the internet? Did that ruin your life? Have you now become a radical Muslim because of that?
I'm not sure. The second thing I want to do some links for the podcast.
Oh, flippin' heck, yeah, that's what we need. Okay, right. Away you go.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Whenever you're downloading or listening to this, this is the best of the Iain Lee podcast from Friday the 15th of April.
Okay, why are you doing it in a voice like that and keeping it really high as though someone's squeezing your balls?
Sorry.
That's okay. Don't apologise. Don't apologise. You're not the professional that I hope to be one day. So why don't you try again, Alan?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
You don't have to. And also, I'm gonna stop you there. I don't think that script's working for you, hun.
Well, timing it from whenever they download it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. But yeah, I tell you what we need. We need banter. You need banter. Alan, say hello to Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Hello, Alan.
You alright?
I'm alright. Are you alright, Alan?
Not bad. Another podcast.
Another podcast? What is this, number 21?
No, I think it's number 20 for Friday the 15th of April.
Friday the 15th of April, and that's released at, 2 a.m. on Saturday morning?
Well, I'm hoping it'll be done at 1 o'clock.
It's a bit early. I mean, that's going to push things.
Well, we usually record it after the show anyway.
Do you think so? I mean, it's Friday night, though. They might want to get off early.
Nah, he's a trooper. He'll stay on till 1 in the morning, and him and Kath will clip the best bits, and they'll bung them on the podcast.
Who does most of the work, though, do you think? Is it Kath? Is it Iain? Or do you think they get Iain to do some of it?
50-50 split.
Do you think it's an even split?
Yeah, 50-50 split.
Yeah, about 50-50. Okay.
Right. So guys, what we could do, that was dry. So what we need to do now is you need to pep it up a bit, sell the podcast. Let's do it, guys. Come on. Go.
Another podcast, Dan?
No, you spoke at the same you spoke at the same time.
I thought I was going to open.
What?
I thought I was going to open.
Alan's going to open for you, Dan. There's an interesting thought, isn't it?
Another podcast, Dan.
Another podcast.
Yeah, this is show 20 of the best bits.
The very best bits.
From Friday the 15th of April.
2016?
Why are you doing... No, hang on a minute. Now, hang on a minute. Oh, flipping it.
Yeah.
Damn, what? Now you're doing a voice.
Well, I thought I might try sort of a Chris Tarrant DJ voice.
Well, no.
It's not capital.
If it was capital, I would have said capital.
Right. Do you know what, guys? I don't think this is working. We're going to have to get someone else to do the podcast links.
Okay.
Alan, you're fired.
Bye.
Dan, you've called in. What would you like to say, boss?
Well, I wanted to talk about HSBC and...
For those who don't know, not all of you are on Twitter, and boy, oh boy, I'm if I didn't have to sell... Oh, wait, 444991000, by the way. If I didn't have to sell myself, right, I would close my Twitter account in a moment. I hate it. And I had some guy who pops up on my screen here at Talk Radio from time to time, because every time he tweets at Talk Radio, I see those tweets. And for the last week or so, he's been going nuts online about... I mean, he's constantly tweeting this thing that was on a show and he got cut off and it was all rude and stuff like that. Now, I don't know what the show was. I don't know who the host was. I don't know who the producer was. Nothing to do with me. All I'm really concerned about is my show here, if I'm completely honest. I want the whole station to do well, but I'm really concerned about here. Anyway, someone put me in touch with him today, and he said, but he cut me off his show. And I said, no, I didn't, mate. He said, yes, you did. I said, no. And we ended up having a barney, and it got weird. He's talking about corruption in banks and da-da-da-da. And then he said something along the lines of, first of all he said, book me, I dare you. And I said, well, that's not how guests are booked, mate. That's not how we got John Ronson. I wasn't double dared. And then he said, look, either book me or F off. And I said, well, I'm going to F off in that case. And it went on, and then loads of people had a go at me. And for those who are wondering, when I was quaking in my boots on Twitter, I was pretending to quake in my boots on Twitter. It was all pretend. I was actually having quite good fun.
You seem genuinely terrified.
I was actually having fun. And then a couple of hours later, I actually felt bad because, I am trying, I was talking to John Ronson about this, I am trying to make this show a nicer, lovelier place, and I want to behave better on Twitter. And while that guy was a plum and was rude to me, I had a little bit of fun, and I could have perhaps stopped it earlier.
But the entire point of Twitter is to have fun. Yeah,
it is. But I'm trying to back away from that kind of fun. That's that's kind of my decision. And I realised that some of the fun I'd had, and people were calling me the C-bomb and all of this stuff, but some of it had been at the expense of others, and I was trying to stop that. That fella, by the way, what's he called? Mr. Emotional, Mr. Evangelical, Mr. Ethical. Mr. Ethical. He's 0844 499 1000. Man alive, he is so welcome to phone in. Me booking him as a guest ain't never going to happen. You want to call in, mate? You are more than welcome to call in. He doesn't want to call in. He doesn't want to come on. He wants to be angry with the MSM, the mainstream media. He's now got whoever cut him off on Talk Radio before, and he's now got me. I'm now added to the list of the mainstream media. And all these people going, what kind of journalist are you? My Twitter bio now is, I'm not a journalist. I'm not a journalist. I've never said I'm a journalist. I'm not a comedian. I've not called myself a comedian for about 10 years. I'm a bloke. I'm a gob on a stick that got lucky, and I sit and talk in front of a microphone. That's it. I'm not a comedian. I'm not a journalist or any of that. But if that fellow wants to phone in...
You're not exactly mainstream media either.
Well, I don't think I am, but
compliment. That's
no, I know what you mean, but I can see how those who are embattled against the mainstream media would consider anything associated with Talk Radio and mainstream media, because we have a broadcasting licence and stuff like that. That caller just dropped off. 0844 499 1000. He's invited to call in, definitely, and we will call him back, and he will be treated like any other caller, and as long as he doesn't libel anybody or doesn't swear, he can come on and talk. I mean, what it looked like he wanted to talk about to me seemed really, really dull. But
it seemed potentially that it could be interesting, but probably hugely libelous.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, he says he's got facts and documents. All right, yeah, but I'd have to err on the side of caution, and he'd probably say something that was libelous about David Cameron, and I'd have to dump him, and then he'd have another notch to his belt. If he wants to call in, he's more than welcome to call in. Of course he is. You've called in, Dan.
Couch it by pretending it was about, let's say, David Lloyd George and the National Westminster Bank.
Well, no, but he couldn't. Because we'd know we'd know. It's like you saying, well, I bought poison food from that supermarket. I won't say its name, but let's just say Every Little Helps, right? Well, everyone know. Actually, who is Every Little? Is that Tesco or Asda, isn't it?
That's Tesco.
Tesco. Well, everyone apart from me, it would seem, would know that was Tesco, you know. And it's like saying, well, I was once sexually touched up in a shop. I won't say what the shop's called, but it sounds a little bit like W. H. Biff's.
Yeah, but nobody goes into W.H. Smith, so that's
how the hell is W.H. Smith still going? You go in their shops, man, and they are the messiest shops in the world. There is I think there's a Twitter account, the floor, which is about it. All it has is pictures of the floors of W.H. Smith's.
It's called W.H. Smith Carpet.
Was it you that put me that sent it to me?
It's entirely possible, but they've branched out a bit now. They show the window displays as well.
It is the messiest shop in the world, right? And the most old-fashioned of the old school, high street stores. And it's still there. It's still going. How the hell does W.H. Smith still exist?
I think it's a tax scam. I think there's something about it.
Don't.
All of them. Sorry.
No. I'm just saying. I'm worried that talk radio is a tax scam. But more on that at a later date. Go on.
Well, could they really cut off a caller?
W.H. Smith's?
Yeah, W.H. Smith. Let's say W.H. Smith. Would they cut off a caller?
It's possible. It's absolutely possible, yes.
How about your competition, Ian?
Yeah, go on.
Well, once I wrote something on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Okay, it was on a celebrity's page.
Yep.
And it's something that's become part of his official biography. He's been asked about it.
Yep.
In minor newspaper interviews. He's a faded celebrity, shall we say.
Yeah.
So how about, and this could have to be by its nature...
Is it Steve Allen?
Competition. It's Rodney Bewes. And what you'd have to do is ask your listeners to put something on a celebrity page. The person who gets their thing on the page longest wins the book.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, though, it would either get taken down immediately, as oftentimes they do, or this game could go on for months. A month.
Well, in the case of my Rodney Bewes edit, it's gone on for a decade, but...
Okay, well, what's the fact you put on there? Are you allowed to share it with us?
I could. During 1982, he served as spokesman for the defunct trade organisation, the British Onion Marketing Board, appearing in a number of print advertisements during the year.
Dan, I don't think that's going to be the competition that does it, mate, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers, my dears. 0844 499 1000.
As you can.
0844 499 1000. We'll call you back certainly for the first couple of hours of the show. Russ and Smudge, I know we're trying to get hold of you. You guys seem to have disappeared. I have no idea what's going on there. I don't know if it's our end or your end or who knows? Who knows, really? But 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. Twitter's a weird thing, man. Here's a question. How the hell do you survive Twitter? How do you survive Twitter? I don't like it. Really. I had some nice messages today. I had a nice message from Davina McCall. I love Davina McCall. It's very, very kind of her to say nice things. Oh, someone's left a posh pen here. I love that. But Twitter's a weird thing. It's like the Wild West, isn't it, really? And there are so many idiots and nasty people on there. I don't get... Well, no, I was going to say I don't get what the pleasure is of winding people up. Actually, I kind of do get what the pleasure of winding people up is. And I think that says more about me than perhaps I would like it to say, really. But it's a strange place. It's bleak, and people get so angry on there. But being on Twitter, it's kind of the digital equivalent of road rage, isn't it? people just feel, when you're in your car, beating your horn, you're flicking your fingers, you're doing all of that kind of stuff. And it's the same on Twitter. I mean, this guy, Mr. Ethical, and again, you're so welcome to call him, pal. If someone wants to tell him, would tell him we're talking about him, he can call in. I'm not being unpleasant, I'm just, I'm being quite generous, I think, actually. 0844 499 1000. He was so angry and so aggressive, and he may well have a really exciting, interesting point to make, right? But we're never going to know because he just got caught up in his anger and his rage at the perceived slight from me. I don't know who he is. I've not looked into him because why should I? He obviously hadn't looked into me. Why should he? Well, because he wanted to come on this show as a guest. Well, if I suggest, if you want to go on a show as a guest, maybe look and see if that show has guests and what kind of guests they have. But anyway, listen, if you want to tell him you can come on, he won't, and that's fine, and that's his decision, and I totally respect that. But how do you survive Twitter? Maybe it's different for you civilians. What do I mean by that? Well, because I've got 45,500 followers, so I've got a lot of followers, and because I am on the radio, so I have kind of a public face, and because I don't feel very well at the moment. All of those things I think make for a vulnerable, easy target. I don't know. 0844 499 1000 is the phone number if you want to give us a call. Russ is on the line. Yes, Russ.
Oh, at last. Had a right game getting on tonight.
What's going on with the phones, Russ? Because I can see Kath has been trying to call you for ages.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of my end and a bit of your end.
Hang on a second.
Right now.
Hang on a second. There's me slagging off Twitter, right? And has he replied or has he just liked it? Right, there's me slagging off Twitter, and I took a cheeky punt earlier on, right? Took a cheeky punt. Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, right?
I asked you last night if you could interview him. Did you see that? No.
No, I didn't see that. That.
Just, great minds thinking alike.
Anyway, he said he's a big fan of the Kinks, right?
Yeah.
And so I sent him a tweet today saying, do you fancy coming on my show, Mark? We won't mention you know what. We'll just talk about the Kinks. And, he's not replied. But he has liked a tweet that somebody else has done. So he's liked a tweet with me in it. That's progress.
It is.
That's progress.
It's more than I got from you. I tweeted you earlier and Kath, and I never even got a like.
I've muted you.
Oh, yeah.
No, I haven't done that. But that's progress. We're yay close to getting Mark Hamill on to talk about the Kinks. There's an interview. I would pay top dollar to hear that interview.
Are you really going to have him on without asking?
Yep. Yep.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can't have Mark Hamill on without Star Wars.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can, and that would be the joy of it. Tonight, dear listener, at 11:30, Mark Hamill's coming on to tell us why he loves the Kinks. That would be brilliant.
It would, but it'd also be brilliant for you to ask him other questions
about the films that he's been on. Okay, here you go. Come up with one original question we could ask Mark Hamill about Star Wars. One.
Not this minute. I could.
Done.
Don't put me on the spot. Come on.
I'm doing that scene from the Day Today when they're bullying someone, which is not cool, kids. You can't. There's not one original question that you could ask him. So what's the point? I want to know why he likes the Kinks. He's done an interview with Ray Davis for the Big Issue. He's done one with Dave Davis for the Big Issue. Why do you love the Kinks so much, Mark? What's your favourite album? Really? You like Everybody's in Showbiz? I think that's pony. I prefer Muswell Hillbillies, and I'll tell you why. The song Alcohol is a masterpiece. Boom, we're in.
I bet. Well, he'll probably be quite appreciative of it. Being interviewed about something other than
exactly.
I'm guessing.
Exactly.
From a selfish Star Wars anorak point of view.
Yeah, well, go and read. I'm going to tweet him again. Here we go. I'm going to go and tweet him. We'll go and read any other magazine with an interview. Tweet to Hamill. Hi, Mark. Serious offer. Fancy coming on my UK radio show to talk about... no, if I...
Star Wars.
You will, no, not Star Wars. And the Kinks. We won't mention thingy. There we go. And then so tweet that, and I'm going to tweet him the phone number. Imagine we got a phone call from Mark Hamill.
That would be awesome.
Imagine Mark Hamill phoned up. He says, "Oh, you want to talk to me about the Kinks? You want to talk to me about the Kinks?" I don't know how he talks.
Don't take the mickey out of his voice, or he you know.
The number, Mark. Hang on. The number, Mark, if you need it, is... What is the number? Is 0844... He's in England at the moment, so it's all right. 499 1000. Don't worry, we will call you back. And if I put Dave Davis in again, because Dave likes us, and he might. Dave Davis listens to the show, as do his kids. Let's see what happens. Let's just wait, guys. I think this one's going to work.
Fingers crossed.
Keep your fingers crossed. Keep your... Oh, hang on, I'm not with my children in the car looking for a car parking space. Okay, right. Carry on.
Yeah, I rang up to talk about... you touched on being 42 and all that and being in the middle of your life.
Yeah.
I hit 40 in January, and I've got to say, Ian, I found it mighty depressing.
Go on. What happened?
Just hitting 40. I don't know why,
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. I've spoken to a lot of blokes who've hit 40, and I've spoken to a therapist, a couple of therapists about it, and it's a real thing. I think possibly more so for men, but I stand to be corrected. In that that midlife crisis thing is, for me, it's an existential thing. You kind of think, flippin' heck, 40 years have gone. What have I done? What have I achieved? How much longer have I got to achieve anything else? And because death is closer now, Russ, than it's ever been, baby.
I know. Every year seems to be going quicker, and I'm starting to sort of things that I would never have even talked about or considered, life insurance and things like that. I'm starting to actually seriously think now, and I'm considering the what's to come. Getting old and being taken to the toilet and bathed and anyway, Ian. On a lighter note.
Well, no, but you know what? That's true, and you don't hear blokes saying that. And again, I'm saying blokes primarily because I'm a bloke, right? If women want to phone in and put in their tuppence worth as well, tuppence. There's a phrase. Yep. Then 0844 499 1000. Maybe it is different for women. Maybe it's the same, and they address it differently. I don't know. But you don't hear blokes say, the joke about a midlife crisis is you get a 16-year-old girlfriend and you get a Harley Davidson. That's not what it's like. It's like I nearly saw then. It's like a flipping. It is a whole existential. What the hell is my life? What have I done with my life? And what am I going to do with it? Did you get that?
Yeah, I've still sort of got it. I mean, what made it worse was back end of last year, I found out I'd got high blood pressure and I'd got to be on blood pressure tablets. That was another thing.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God, this is for old people.
Yeah, yeah.
And the nurse even said to me, well, you're not young, love.
Yeah.
And I'm like, excuse me, like, what are you talking about?
It's that thing when you got to tick
I still feel a young pup.
Well, you got to tick forms on the internet, or you got a bit of paper, right? And it gets to the age groups, and suddenly you're in the bottom half of the age groups. You're 40 to 45. Well, yeah.
I'm according to the local doctor's surgery, I had a letter. I'm in the age group of 40 to 75.
That's a very broad age group.
Going for health checks and all this crap.
Russ, listen, stay there. I know you've got another point to make. I've just got to do a break. 0844 499 1000. 0844 499 1000. Let's just make sure we keep one line free for Mark Hamill, if he does call in, to talk only about the Kinks and not thingy. Not mentioning thingy. Okay, I've got a good feeling he's going to call in. I've just got... Well, Dave Davis is going to come on at some point from the Kinks. He's coming on, I think, in the summer at some point. He's got a record or something coming out, and he said he'd like to come on then. He's a big fan of the show, and I know his boys listen sometimes. Boys, they're probably the same age as me. And Russ, old boys. Russ, go on, you had another thing you wanted to say.
Yeah, first of all, so I'm loving this Periscope. I've just seen people chatting on here and a few saying, I'd like to call in, but I'm nervous. Don't be nervous, just do it.
It's fun. It's not one of those shows where I'm trying to catch people out or anything. It's a laugh. I'm having a meeting on Monday. Periscope got in touch with me and they said, we love that you're doing your show on Periscope. Can we meet you? We've got a new beta version of it that's got new features on it. We'd like you to try it out. So fingers crossed, next week or soon, we might be the only people in the world that's got the brand new advanced Periscope, which is quite exciting, I think. Oh, I don't know really.
No, it's great technology.
It's great technology. Yeah, go on.
No, I just wanted to say how much I'm enjoying the show and compliment it, and it's nice to watch something evolve from the beginning. And being an anorak of talk-based radio since the mid-90s, I'm really enjoying it, mate. And I know it's going to probably evolve, go in slightly different directions here and there over time, and you'll probably get fed up of my voice over time, no doubt.
Well, you say probably.
Well, more than likely. I'll try not to call in too much.
Russ, listen. I
just like the way it's like by the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
And I like it's exciting, and I do like more serious stations and serious presenters.
Cup of tea's coming, yeah.
Right, but life. There's a lot of crap going on in life and on the news and in the world.
Yeah. We should have a laugh. 12 minutes to 11. You want to have on a Friday night? I want to have a laugh. Russ, listen.
What's wrong with that?
Listen, Russ. I'm glad you found us, and I appreciate your kind words. Thank you very much indeed. That's very kind. 0844 499 1000. Gavin's on the line. Yes, Gavin.
How you doing? You all right?
I'm all right, Gavin. We've got to keep it short because I'm expecting Mark Hamill to call in any moment soon.
I was going to say, Mark Hamill, didn't you used to have a way of getting in touch with each other before Twitter? Wasn't there like something like agents, like your people?
No need to bring race into it, mate. Call them Asians. Talk about your people, their people.
Agents.
I'm so sorry, mate. I'm so sorry. But imagine, right? Imagine it's not. When did Star Wars come out? 1979.
77, the first one.
Right, imagine, right? It's the summer of 1977, right? Star Wars is an unexpected hit. It's the biggest thing in the world, right?
Yeah.
How the hell would I get? Wouldn't be able to get in touch with Mark Hamill.
I'm sure you would. In those days, you'd write to him via PO box number.
But now
reply.
I'd include an SAE. But now I've sent a message to him. He's got that on his phone. He's looking now at the message I sent him on his phone.
I'll tell you what, and the other thing is that what's going on with what the previous caller said about being middle-aged and whether you achieved your life. Mark Hamill, can you imagine, the only thing that you ever want to talk about is Star Wars.
Yeah.
1977.
Yeah.
That's all, most of his life, that's all he's ever known. He must hate it.
When was Jedi? Was that about 84?
Well, no, hold on. So you got 77 was the New Hope, then Empire Strikes Back was 1979, I believe, and I think 83 was Return of the Jedi.
So apart from last year, right, he's had, I can't do the maths. He's had like 35 years. Oh no, thank you.
Of the same 3 films.
Yeah.
3 films he's done, and that's all he's ever had to deal with.
Exactly.
He must hate it. He must absolutely hate it.
Of course. I mean, I suspect he's got a fondness for it again now that it's paying top dollar. But it would be fair to say that his acting career, he was expected to be the big star, but it was Harrison Ford that became the big star.
That's true.
And while Mark Hamill has done some he does loads of voiceovers in video games, right? And he's flipping brilliant. The Joker in the background.
And he can send himself up really well as well. He's good in The Simpsons. He's brilliant at sending himself up because he knows that that's all he's known for is Star Wars. But
here's the thing.
As an actor, he must regret that. Surely he must think, oh God, Star Wars again. And I think your invitation to come on and not talk about Star Wars will be very inviting to him. I think he'd love that. He'd absolutely love it.
Who knows? I'm CCing him and Dave Davis, so I know he's a big fan of the show. And you know what? You never know if the mood catches his fancy. You don't know. But you're right. I'm a big fan, as I've said many times, of the Monkees, right?
Yes.
And the Monkees television series lasted for about It lasted for 2 years. Basically, the Monkees in the 60s lasted for 2 years, and they sold tens of millions of records, and they did 2 TV series and an album, and then it exploded, and that was it, right? And you'd
But the
see...
TV series was on Saturday mornings on ITV for years and years, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was always on.
But you'd see, you'd see them being interviewed in the 80s, and before the kind of the big comeback and stuff, and they'd say, it happened 20 years ago. It was 2 years of my life. Why is everybody...
so much more since.
Yeah, why is... And even now, you know, it's their 50th anniversary. It was basically 2 years of their life. And they're still answering questions about that 24-month period. It must be... It must be frustrating.
It must be. So anyway, Ian, so 11 o'clock show, how was it?
Did you hear last night when John Holmes came in?
Yeah, I did.
It's good, wasn't it?
I think it's fantastic.
Have you listened to his show?
John Holmes is brilliant. Yeah, I do. I listen to your show, I listen to Ian, to John Holmes' show, and between the two of you, you have got radio sussed.
Well,
absolutely brilliant.
It's funny, do you know what? Because I like John Holmes' show a lot, and I got to listen to quite a bit of it today, more than I usually do. And what's interesting is, I think anyway, is that we're both doing something that's different from normal phone-in radio. His is even more different. His isn't a phone-in show, actually. But it's different to what you would hear on 5 Live or LBC or anything like
LBC,
that.
Yeah.
But also,
totally
what
different.
he's doing is completely different to what I'm doing as well. You know, I think we're both doing completely separate shows, which is good for talk radio. For those who don't know, John Holmes is on 1 till 4, Monday to Friday. And we had never... I've only met him a few times, right? We've kind of crossed paths a few times. I think we've got the same agent. Yeah. And we had never had that conversation that we had last night about the 11 o'clock show. We'd never had it. And
wow. I can't believe that, because obviously you're in similar circles. You've both been in showbiz for a long time. John Holmes does a lot of stuff on Radio 4 and all that kind of stuff. I can't believe you never had a conversation before.
We'd had a couple of conversations. I think we were up for a job together once. It was a very vague thing, but we'd never sat down and he'd never asked me, why did you leave the 11 o'clock show? And I'd never told him that I had and what I thought about it.
Yeah.
And it was, and that was 14 years ago. Jeez, I'm old. You see, there's another thing. And there's another thing. We're talking about people, men primarily, but again, because I'm a man and you're a man, reaching a certain age. And it's when you can tell a story and go, well, that was 14 years ago, and you were still a grown-up 14 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely right, yeah.
I can tell a story about something that happened 20 years ago. I was still an adult man when that story happened 20 years ago. Flipping it. And yet when you're a kid, the age of 20 seems ancient.
Time runs away with you when you get older, doesn't it? It
does, man.
Runs away.
Gavin, it's nice to talk to you, mate. I really appreciate your call. Thank you very much indeed. 0844 499 1000. Who's this? Is this Mark Hamill?
Yeah, Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill.
Is that Mark? Is that Mark?
Hamill.
Is that...
I was on the Twitter. Earlier, and I saw that you wanted to talk.
Yeah! You're a big fan of the... I can't believe you've called in, Mark.
I love the Kinks. I love those guys. I love the Kinks. Oh.
I can't believe you've called in, Mark.
What's your favorite?
Yeah.
What's your favorite song?
My favourite song by the Kinks. Yeah, hang on, calm down, Mark. I know. I would say my favourite song by the Kinks is The Last of the Steam-Powered Trains.
I don't like that, but I prefer We Will Rock You. We Will Rock You, you know that one?
That's by Queen, mate.
No, it's by the... Oh.
Is this really Mark Hamill?
I like... Yeah. Of course it is.
Hang on,
What are you saying? I'm not Mark Hamill? How do you know?
I'm cutting you off. You're not.
Why don't you ask me about the...
You bottled it. There we go. That wasn't Mark Hamill. Imagine it. But imagine, now let's go, if it was, and he was doing a fake New York accent and winding us up, and we never knew. Maybe it was. Let's say it was. Okay? Just for argument's sake, that was Mark Hamill. And yes, I am saying Camel. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. The way it works is we're going to sit here and we're going to talk about whatever you fancy. And it might get a little bit heavy tonight, and that's groovy, man. We're going to keep one line free just in case Mark Hamill calls in. And that would be awesome. We still need to record the podcast links. And we need to come up with a competition so that we can have a competition to give away this Tommy James book, which is a cracking read. All right? It's an absolutely brilliant read. I haven't done a competition for years. I told you I could stretch this out for 3 hours. I haven't done a competition for years, and I don't really know kind of, what's in at the moment. So, 08, if you can help with any of that. Midlife crises. 0844 499 1000. This is Iain Lee. You're listening to Talk Radio.
Talk Radio.
Well, I'm having a chat with the people on Periscope. If you want to go and join in, you can. Periscope.tv/Iain Lee. I'm going to have a little chitty chat and a Q&A during the news. This is Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio. We're going to keep one line free tonight. I've got a feeling that Mark Hamill is going to call in. I'm just feeling that vibe. I've sent him a tweet. I've sent him the phone number and I've told him we call him back. So what could possibly go wrong? If you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome to. The phone number is, and we will call you back, 0844 499 1000. 0844 499 1000.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me down the road. It's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold. A brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far, but you know it won't be long. We're almost there and we paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll find what I call home. Until tomorrow, you know I'm free to roll.
0844 499 1000. Iain Lee. What have we talked about so far? A little recap for anybody who's joined us afresh. Well, I've got a book to give away. And I haven't done a competition for 6 years on the radio, because last place I worked at, we weren't allowed to. You're not allowed to on the BBC, it's weird. Anyway, but I don't know, so we need a competition to have the competition. I'm just going to probably end up giving it to someone. But we need a competition for the competition to win this book by Tommy James, which is a brilliant book. We also need someone to record the intro and the outro to the podcast, because I didn't do it before. I was busy doing other stuff, if I'm completely honest. 0844 499 1000. We've been talking about midlife crisis. I'm not saying I'm having one at all, but there is a point when you kind of get to sort of 40, 41, I'm 42, and no one really sets you up for it. And I think it's more common than we know. I've just had a couple of emails this week that made me think about stuff and about how fragile we all are. Aren't we fragile? and I just want to know that you're all right. I can't explain it really any better than that. You're all right. 08444991000. Eddie, you all right?
Yeah, Ian, good evening. How are you, old boy?
I'm all right, Eddie. Thank you, mate. What you got for us?
Well, I just wanted to I'm driving my cab at the moment. I'm in London.
Beautiful.
Very interesting to hear you mention the Kinks, and in particular, the wonderful Muswell Hillbillies, because no one ever says a damn thing about it.
Oh, it's a great album, right? It's about 72, 73, so I'm not too hot on the Kinks chronology.
I think it's a touch earlier. It's 70, 71, something like that. So for them, it's quite late in terms of what everyone knows about them.
Yeah.
But what an absolute Bobby Belter of a record.
Oh, it's a joy. And if my computer were up to full speed, I would now be blasting tracks off it.
Yeah.
But I lost a load of my... Have I got it on here? No, I haven't.
You'd put Alcohol as number one, would you?
Yeah.
I think I'd agree with you.
It's
either that or Acute Paranoia.
I haven't got...
Schizophrenia.
Oh, no, I haven't got it. I've got... Oh, my computer's got... Yeah, that's brilliant. There's a brilliant version of them doing that live on the BBC with the brass band. Have you seen that?
No, which one? Alcohol?
No, Acute Paranoia, Schizophrenic Blues.
No, I haven't.
It's brilliant.
Right, I just think it's such a good album all the way through. There's a dodgy song about having a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a filler.
Oh, it's the Kinks. They're allowed to do that.
Yeah, of course they are. You give Ray that, don't you? But there's a song about Holloway Jail, which is, they're sort of pastiche numbers, aren't they? They're sort of done in an American style with London lyrics.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma, I think it's just a great... But the trouble is everyone knows the big hits.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you mention that record, and they don't want. Right. Okay,
I think my copies. I've got a copy on CD, and it's signed by one of the Davies. I think that one might be signed by Ray. I'm not sure. Anyway,
okay.
Dave's coming on at some point. We're working on Ray.
I was just about to say. I thought I'd heard that.
Dave's definitely coming on. Ray's hopefully going to come on at some point. Dave's brilliant because Dave is one of those old rockers, right? Who don't give a stuff. Yeah. He'll tell if he hates someone, he'll tell you. He'll be completely straight down the line. I also, in the Kinks, you've got to tread so carefully with the Kinks back catalogue though. Because there is some rubbish. The Preservation Acts 1 and 2. Has anyone ever listened to those both all the way through?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, there's things.
I've got the Village Green Preservation as the album.
Which
is brilliant.
Now that is an album. That is
a stonker.
But I tell you, the album, my favourite album out of all of theirs is Arthur.
I don't know that one.
Arthur or the mate. Oh, go on, get it on Amazon, right?
All right.
Arthur or the Decline and Fall of the British Empire. I think it's the one that came after Village Green, right?
Okay.
I've only got... Listen to this. In Australia.
So if you're young and if you're healthy, why not get a boat and come to
Australia? Listen to this, hang on, indulge me.
You get what you want. Nobody has to be any better than what they want to be.
Honestly, I think it's their best album.
Really?
Yeah, treat yourself.
That doesn't sound as good as Alcohol.
No.
The sound of what they've done with the jazz sound.
Well, then maybe you won't dig it, but then treat yourself. Give us a call in a week, Eddie, and we'll have an arm wrestle about it.
Can I just make one more quick point? Have you come across Ray Davies with the Crouch End Choir rehashing a load of old Kinks favourites? It sounds midlife crisis, which I know you're talking about. It's brilliant. He's a few songs of a few classic Kinks numbers, and he's reworked them with this choir from Crouch End.
I wasn't that keen on that.
Oh, were you not?
I wasn't.
What about the Walter song? Do you not like the way they did the Walter song?
I don't remember, if I'm honest.
Oh, okay. Oh, fair dues, mate. Fair dues. Well, I'm a big fan myself, but there you go.
Well, listen, we'll make sure you buy that record, right? Get it for fun. I saw him playing Village Green Preservation Society, Ray Davies, at the Royal Festival Hall 3 or 4 years ago, maybe a bit more actually, with an orchestra when he was doing the Meltdown Festival. It was good.
He's a legend, isn't he? He's a real proper London legend.
I saw him coming out of Snappy Snaps once in Muswell Hill.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I used to see him around Muswell Hill a lot when I lived up there. Eddie, listen, nice to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Buy that album and let us know how you get on. All I need now, right, to make everything, not everything perfect, because my life is a mess, but to make my working life perfect, is a late night, Saturday night show on a music station where I can play whatever I want, where I bring in my iPod and go, oh yeah, the Kinks, hang on a second, ooh. And then when that finishes, go, oh yeah, that reminds me of that song by S Club. Hang on, let me find it, and then playing that. That would be a radio show, dear listener. Forget this. No, don't forget this. 0844 499 1000. Yes, Rob.
Yo! Much love from the 550. Big style.
Literally no idea what that means.
Pirate radio, you say your last 3 digits of your number,
Oh.
and then you put, like, some gangster talk on it, don't you?
Is that what that is?
Yeah, they go like, we feel you, 550, you're locked in, and
Yeah.
we feel much love, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It could bring in the youth market.
Oh, we need a market of some kind.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's what we need, isn't it? It's what we need.
I know where you could get that radio show, you know.
What?
What's that? Is it Renaissance or Resonance? What about them?
I'd do it. A music show where I can play whatever I want. I once offered to XFM years ago, right, after they sacked me twice. I said, here's an idea for a show. You can give me like 3 o'clock in the morning, right, and I'll come and do it for next to nothing. But basically, I'm allowed to play whatever I want. And if I decide, for example, this is the example I cited, and perhaps I shouldn't. If I decide I want to play Daydream Believer 7 times in a row, I'm allowed to do it. And they went, nah. I went, all right, thanks then, guys.
They went, you know we do drugs tests here.
They didn't when I worked at XFM. Ah?
Woohoo! Hey.
Anyway, Robert.
I'm calling in. You know you help people on air. I'm calling as a favour to the listeners.
You know you help people on air. No, I don't know that. Do I do that?
Yeah. People ring in with problems and you help them out. Go on.
All right, go on.
So I've been painting the kitchen.
I can't imagine you, Rob, with a kitchen.
I'll send you some pictures, some cheeky pictures if you want.
Oh, well, you send us some cheeky pics, mate. Yeah, go on.
Did you ever get that card? No.
Yeah, I did. It was vulgar, and it was highly. If one of my esteemed colleagues had seen it, I suspect there could have been either a punch up, certainly would have been a fist involved, or a court case.
No, it's all right. Me and Howard are killed. He dumped me on Sunday night. Anyway.
Oh no! Have you sent another card then? I've only got the first one with the sausages.
The one where I'm on the beach.
Yeah.
No, there's a better one than that.
Oh, I've not seen that.
Can I put the image on Twitter? You can tell me or not. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been painting the kitchen tonight. I've hit the burglar alarm.
Yeah.
And he's beeping on the inside.
Yeah.
And it says fault. I can't remember the code. So please don't come and burgle my house. But is anyone out there got burglar knowledge? Is my alarm going to go off in the middle of the night and we're going to get like done and beaten up?
Hang on a minute. I'm confused. Why are you scared about getting done and beaten up in the middle of the night?
The burglar alarm may go off. You know, like the panel, that's flashing and saying fault.
Right. Okay. Right. So you're worried. And what's your address, Rob? So that we know. Just so that we know that you've got a broken burglar alarm, and we don't come and disturb you and scare you.
It's 321 Sexy Street.
Sexy Street. That's the sort of thing a 12-year-old would say. 321 Sexy Street. You twit.
I'll be honest, Samantha Fox parks there every night.
You're such a plum. I of course have a burglar alarm.
Yes. Well, you've got many precious awards.
Many jewels. I don't want anyone getting their hands on my Gillards.
Yeah. You don't want strange men coming in your house here.
Well, but yes, the most people, I suspect, Rob, that most people that have the burglar alarm box outside their house,
yes,
don't have the burglar alarm. It's just there for show. Or the people that were there before they moved in had a burglar alarm, and then when they got in, they cancelled the contract.
Yes, that's true, but this is an old one.
Yeah.
And so I know it works. It went off about 2 or 3 years ago, and I thought, I can't remember the code, I'll not reset it.
When we moved into our place, we thought it was the burglar alarm, but it turned out the fire brigade came twice. So I guess that means it's a fire alarm. Yeah, of course it does.
Oh, wow.
And they came to us, and we didn't know what the code was, and we had to get they're so loud, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, like, painfully loud. And the kids were terrified, and we had to get the kids out of the house, and we had to take them somewhere else. And it went on for hours, and the fire brigade turned up. They turned up twice, and boy, the first time we all laughed about it. The second time, there weren't no laughter going on. And we didn't have the code, and so we had to chop through the wires. and we chop through the wires, and do you know what that does?
No.
It sets the flipping alarm off, of course. So it set the alarm off.
That was my next play. I was like,
no,
get the wires. I'm not going to do that.
It sets the flipping alarm off, mate. Never chop through the burglar alarm wires.
But where does the power come from?
This is the thing. I don't. Is there like an emergency like battery in there? I just don't know. Rob, Paulie's been calling in. Have you heard?
I've been in Luxembourg all week, mate, so I've not heard.
All right. I wasn't asking if you'd gone abroad to do naughty things. Paulie has been calling in.
Yes.
I'm no performing monkey. I'm not going to say what you want me to say. Go on, say it. Say it, Paul. I'm not going to say it. I'm not a performing monkey. Say it. Go on, say it. I'm not a performer. Up yours. And then he slammed the phone down.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did you see his periscope he put up?
No, I didn't.
He didn't know they stayed up for 24 hours. And, like, lots of people were like, oh, my God, what's happened to him? And then he quickly took it down.
Was it rude?
It wasn't rude, but let's just say he maybe had a can of shandy.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much indeed, Rob. 0844 499 1000. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. So, people are being confused by what I've said on Twitter, at Iain Lee, right? And what I've said is I sort of want to check in on air to see if you've made another week, but it's really hard to explain. And it is really hard to explain. I just think, you know, I'm not clever enough to verbalise what I'm trying to say. We have had on this show a right old laugh, just one. This show is whatever, you know, it's everything and it is absolutely nothing, right? And it's great that everyone calls in and we can twit around and we can dick around and all of that stuff. But we've also had some quite heavy stuff. We've had people phoning in who have been very poorly indeed. And we've talked about depression and we've talked about, you know, all of that stuff, but without making a big thing about it. Like this hour, we're going to talk about depression. And how has suicide impacted on your life? Call me now. We've not done it like that. It's just a conversation. And I'm hoping that in some tiny way, we are chipping away at any of the remaining stigma that's around it, right? And just today's been weird for me. I've just not really got any traction going. I've had a couple of emails that I really want to share with you, but it's inappropriate for me to share with you. But they've just made me I've realised already, life is fragile, man. You know what I mean? It's fragile. And it can just go like that. And there are a lot of us that are... I acted like an idiot on Twitter earlier on, right? And I got caught up in an argument. And what I should have done was just... No thanks. And I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed the argument, if I'm completely honest. But I displayed a side of me on Twitter that I'm trying to see less and less of, right? And it made me... it reminded me yet again that we are all precious, priceless and valuable. And that there are more of us struggling every day than we think. I think there are shed loads of people, loads of us, loads of me's, just struggling every day, right? And you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know by look. Of course, you wouldn't know by looking at them because we are really good at lying and acting and deceiving, all of that. And so, what I sort of wanted to do tonight, but I don't know how to do it, is just say, "You're right. You're right. You okay? Did you make it to the end of this week? Some people didn't. Some famous people didn't. Some not famous people didn't make it. You know, are you all right? We did. If you're listening to this, we did. We got to Friday at 11:22, and that's an achievement. I think we all deserve a pat on the back for that. Well done. But you're right. I can't explain it any better than that, really. And doing it like that, it just sounds a little bit, I keep saying pretentious, but it's not pretentious because I mean it. So, I don't know. I'm struggling to explain myself, and aren't we all struggling to explain ourselves in life? Boom. You can have that one. 0844 499 1000. Sam's on the line. Yes, Sam.
Hello, you okay?
I'm alright, mate. What you got for us?
I just want to talk about what you, literally what you've been talking about, really.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Not like depressionist. Well, yeah, I guess so. It's like, I'm 20 years old, and in my, as we were talking about on Thursday, like, I've gone through like a lot of heavy stuff in my life.
Yeah.
And I think there's no real age where you can not go through stuff. Like, there's people who obviously are younger than me who have lost people and for whatever reason, and like something that I do on my I don't plug it again, but on my YouTube channel is talk about like just the realness of life. Like, life isn't always like cute kittens and butterflies. You know what I mean? Like, life can be a cruel mistress, I guess. But I mean,
it's hard work. The thing is, life, right? And no, they don't tell you this at school. And we don't want to say it too young to kids because we don't want to scare kids. The John Lennon song, nobody told me there'd be days like this. Life is hard work, man. And not just the thing of paying bills and going to work and stuff like that. Just, for some people, the act of getting up, having a wash is hard work. Just thinking, Jesus, I've got to go and talk to people, or I've not got to talk. I'm going to stay in my house all day. It can be hard work. And we never say that. We never sit down and go, flipping it. Right, family and kids and job to one side. I'm really struggling today. We don't perhaps as often as we should. I'm really struggling today just to stop myself from crying, or just to feed myself, or just to know what the flipping heck I'm meant to be doing.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's strange because there's nothing wrong with being sad every now and again. Like, I think sadness along with happiness is one of the most important feelings that humans can have, and it's not something that you should feel guilty about. Like, you should just, I think of any age should be honest about what they're feeling. Like, I'm very active online, like especially on Twitter as well. Like, I often, if I'm feeling down, I will say I'm feeling down. But the thing is especially there's this sort of stigma where if you say that you're feeling down on Twitter, people will say that you're not attention seeking, but wanting that like not attention, but you want someone to say, how are you? And I don't think that should be a bad thing, though. I don't think it should be a bad thing to want to have someone to talk to. I don't think, and I'm not really sure where I'm going with this, but I hope you understand.
No, and Sam, and do you know what, Sam? That's beautiful, right? Because you're a 20-year-old bloke, I'm a 42-year-old man, and I don't know where I'm going with this. Do you know what I mean? And it's okay to have conversations where there is no end point, where we're just trying to work out our thoughts and verbalise them, and it's stuff that is not really addressed and is really abstract, actually, that makes it difficult to kind of talk about it. Normally when you do a phone-in show, you go, right, I'm asking this question. Yeah. And it's there. I'm not asking anything, and yet I'm asking everything. And I'm not doing this to talk about my depression or any of that stuff. Even though if that comes up, that's fine. It's just I've had a lot of things have happened in the last couple of weeks, that have made me think, this is hard work for a lot of people. This breathing is hard work for a lot of people. And I think there are more people that are more sick than we acknowledge, or we'd like to think. There are more people struggling day to day than we think. And you might be, and you know what? There might be people that are fine and going, what's he talking about? Fantastic. And that's brilliant. That is brilliant. And I'm envious of you people. Hang on to that.
Yeah. I mean, for the same reason, like, I'm envious of people who are constantly happy. But I mean, the thing is, I don't think people really are constantly happy. I mean, there's some people who obviously let on that they are, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being happy at all. I mean, some people feel guilty for being happy when their friends are upset, and that's the thing. Like, when I make my YouTube videos, like I put on this front, I'm like, saying, oh yeah, I'm really happy today, all sort of stuff, and I talk about really like sort of serious things. Yeah. But I mean, we all have our demons. We all have things that we're not proud of. We've all made mistakes in our lives. But I mean, the truth is, I think you probably know this. It's the mistakes that you make in your life that what make you you. You can't do some. I mean, an artist doesn't make a picture without like breaking a few pencils or
unless they're a painter, in which case, even painters might use pencils. But I know what you're trying to say. How are you today? You made it through another week, Sam. That's got to be that's an achievement.
Yeah, well, I'm proud of myself.
Well done, good. You should be. It's always good to talk to you, Sam.
Yeah.
I appreciate your call. Thank you,
man.
man. Take
Cheers.
care.
Thank
Ta-ta.
you. Bye-bye.
0844 499 1000. This is Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio. 0844 499 1000. The show is puttering. I'm saying puttering. I think I mean pottering or sputtering. Spluttering. The show's going at quite a nice little pace. I'm enjoying this for a Friday. It's not quite as frenetic and as frantic as it has been, and I'm cool with that, man. 0844 499 1000. You call us, we'll give you a call back. Between now and 12. After 12, we'll take calls straight to air, and things change a little bit. Andrew's on the line. Andrew, you've been there for ages. What have you got for us?
Hey, no worries, Ian. I don't know how I can follow that. I take my hat off to people that are going through what you're going through and your caller's gone through. And that lady the other night, she broke my heart, the stuff that she was going through.
Yeah.
And fair play for how you're dealing with it. I've got a couple of people close to me that are going through something very, very similar. One of them's very well medicated and, on most part, really, really good. Another one's only just started, and he's got a lot to go through. So it's tough. And I think it's from being somebody who doesn't suffer and not really understanding it, it's kind of hard, but hearing what you guys are talking about is kind of helping me to deal with it in my life with the people that I need to be there for.
And that's the thing, and you're speaking specifically about depression, are you?
I am, yeah, absolutely.
And that's the thing, is that it's easy to forget, including the people that have got depression, that it's really hard for everybody around them, because people don't know what to do with someone like that.
No, exactly.
And what the best thing is, and you try kicking them at the backside, you try ignoring them, you try hugging, all of these things, and you'll find it. You sound like you're clued in, but I guess I suppose, and it's really hard to explain this. I guess that it's not just depression that I'm trying to address. It's just what's the word?
It's the
life.
Ups and downs of life.
It's life, man. Life.
Good days and bad. Yeah, I guess like you, I lost my dad a few years ago, and that kind of broke my world. And you get through it and you get back and get back on with it. And you have good days, you have bad days. I have a really rubbish week at work. Get the end of it. It's Friday night, great weekend. Not like I'm out in the town or anything, but yeah, great.
How long ago did if you don't mind me asking, Andrew, you tell me to jog on if I'm asking too much. How long ago did your dad die?
11 years ago.
Right, okay. I think mine was 2 or 3. I'm so terrible with dates and time. Time is all over the place. I think it was 2 or 3. It was 2 or 3. I still find myself reaching for the phone.
Yeah, I know. I'm similar. You get days like that when you miss them. You get days when you're down, you're up, and it's just life. But you find ways of dealing with it and you move on. It's you never forget. That's the main thing.
When I did the first week of shows here, and they went really, really well, much better than I was expecting it to do. And I was at home and I was looking for my phone because I wanted to text my dad and say, "Did you hear any of them?" And then it just hit me. It's like,
damn it, I can't.
yeah, and it really caught me. And this was like years later. It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's one thing that I actually got from you. So last September, I think, you had Bare Naked Ladies on when you interviewed them.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, Ed from Bare Naked Ladies is coming on again in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, which is very exciting, yeah.
And I was never into them. Of course, I knew the song, Chickadee China, the Chinese Chicken, all that sort of stuff, $1 million. I knew all that. And after hearing you interviewing them, I went to see them at the O2, what a night! Yeah. What an amazing night! Loved it.
Brilliant.
I bought tickets for them at the Roundhouse.
Oh, I'll see you there, Andrew.
Definitely.
I'll see you there, mate. Come and say hello if you see me.
Yeah, and actually, I tweeted you back in December, January, and you're going through some rubbish, and said there's one song that, when I'm feeling down, really sorts me out of theirs, and that is "Get Back Up."
Oh, yeah.
The latest album, it is mental. Yeah. Put that on full blast and play that, and if that doesn't work, put on Popcorn, and that's it, nailed. Brilliant.
Do you know what, Andrew? Listen, thank you. I appreciate that call. Do you know what we're going to do? Actually, I don't know if I've got it here with me. Hang on a second. I might. There's me jumping the gun ever so slightly. Oh, 1 minute, Andrew, thank you for that. Indulge me, please. 1 minute and 17 seconds of this joy. A song about popcorn?
Mama put the popcorn kernels in the pot. She turned up the heat, now the pot is getting hot. And when those popcorn kernels start to pop, 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 pop.
love Ed the Duck.
You love Ed the Duck?
Oh.
What's Ed the Duck got to do with anything?
I don't know. Someone just put it on, Periscope.
Ed the Duck?
Yeah.
With Andy Crane? Do you remember Ed the Duck with Andy Crane?
Well, I think I'm getting mixed up actually with the Duck songs. I like that as well.
Oh, the duck walked up to a lemonade stand and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, man, you got any grapes?" Oh, my boy, this rubbish. And this show is meant to be joyous and celebrate everything, but flipping it, that song is terrible.
That's not what I didn't phone up.
My boys, if you've not got kids, you may have missed the Duck song. My boys love it, and we have to play it all the time, and it's just awful.
Yeah, but the kids do like it. My girls used to love it. I don't suppose your boys used to watch those baby videos, kind of with classic songs with rude words in them.
No, they do. No, they do not. Because Rosie, I'm a good parent. Not a good person. I'm a good parent. What have you got for us, Rosie?
Oh no, well I was really enjoying the Kinks talk, and I was just going to ask you what was your favourite track on the Village Green Preservation album?
I said Last of the Steam Powered Engines, but I was.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
I was lying actually, because it's the only one I could think of.
But my favourite is well, I don't know. Well, Village Green he did at the Stables in Milton Keynes when we saw him 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And he did a really cut down, just a really acoustic version, and it was really moving.
The Village Green, that's a good song.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I like. Go on.
He goes, and then Daisy married Tom the grocer boy, and me and my daughter started crying.
Oh my goodness.
Just the way he did it.
I like picture book, people love each other, taken by their others. There's no picture book, to prove that they were there. I like that one.
Yeah, it's funny. There's pictures. People take pictures of each other. It's kind of.
People take pictures of each other.
That's been on loads of ads as well.
Is it that one? I get the song. I was slightly confused. The song where he's in a play and all of my friends.
Oh God, I love that. Is that what's that one?
What that is?
The one about Norman.
Oh, is that Norman? I can't
Well, it's not called Norman, but he's playing a guy called Norman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice song.
I'm gonna have a little bit of a kink off on it. I think. I think this weekend it's going to be. Dave Davis is coming on at some point soon.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, he's good.
Will I be allowed to talk to him?
Do you want? Well, has he got a restraining? Has he now or ever had a restraining order against you?
No, he probably hasn't.
Yes, you can. When he comes on, you can.
Oh, it'd be nice.
All right,
I don't know because he had a stroke. I don't know if he'll remember stuff from.
Oh, he's well again now. He's well.
Yeah. Is his memory all right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I want to ask him if he remembers the plasticine model.
Oh, flippin' heck. Tweet him. He replies to the tweets.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tweet him. All right, Rosie. Listen, nice one. Thank you very much. Rashid's on the line. Yes, Rashid.
Rashid's on the line. Ian, how are you, man? Wagwan.
Wagwan, Rashid. I feel we've been a little bit heavy for the moment. And we can be heavy again, but hang on a minute. Let me just get a little bit of let's try and get a little bit of music in the background. Hang on, what's this?
Because you
No, here we go. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Listen to the bass. The bass is good. Rashid's back in town.
Rashid's back in town.
Rashid is back in town.
I've got no hair, mate. I'm bald.
Sorry?
I can't do the head banging. I've got no hair.
It doesn't matter. You can still bang your head, but
I've got a big beard.
Oh, a bit even better.
Bit of ZZ Top.
Bit of the ZZ Top beard. What do those guys? Do they still have the beards? And are the beards now 25 years longer?
Probably. They never walk down the shaving aisle in Asda.
No,
I never see them there. To stay away from the big razors.
I've never seen you're right, ZZ Top purchasing big razors. You know the disposable razors?
Mm.
Who would ever? I mean, you obviously got a big beard. Who would ever use those? They give the worst. Not Bic, of course. They're excellent. They give the worst shave imaginable. You don't know what I'm talking about. You've never had a shave in your life, Rashid, and I respect
I shave
that.
I shave my head because I've got a slap head. I shave my head because I'm bald.
That'll do it. That'll do it, buddy. That's what it's all about. Well done for embracing it. What you got for us, Rashid?
First week of listening to your show, and I must say, first impressions of you.
Oh.
I like you.
Uh-oh.
I think you're a nice dude. I'm not kissing your backside and because you're famous. I think you're a nice dude.
That's going to change. That's going to change. You. Hang on. This is the first week you've listened. How did you discover the show?
I'm a lorry driver. Work night shift.
I didn't ask you your life story, mate. I just asked how you discovered the show.
All right. I tell you what. My life story. Have you watched Shameless? Shameless. That's my family, mate.
Oh, is it? Oh, flipping it. It's a lot of families, isn't it?
Right. Yeah.
You are. Well, you.
Say no more.
So you listen. What? You found us in your truck one night.
No. Where did I find? I was looking. Oh, that's it. I saw the poster in my area, and it's got George Galloway on it. And I wanted to ask you about George Galloway.
Hang on a minute. We can't talk about him at the moment because we legally can't talk about him at the moment.
He's on the poster.
No. But we can't because he's running in an election here in London, right? So we can't even honestly. And it's not me being cute. Once that election's done, we can talk about him. But we can't even talk about him now. I can't even really have this conversation. But I'm glad that that you discovered us through the poster. Well, you are now my sister's favourite caller after yesterday.
Great.
Yeah.
That's great. I've got a little what do you call it for you? A little jingle.
Oh yeah, go on then. The music's off. Away you go, buddy.
Let's go now. This is for the rat. This is for the rat.
Wait, what was the when's the jingle coming?
I've gone a bit blank. Let's try and get it back. This is like stand-up comedy. This is.
Come on, bring it back.
Boo!
Get him off!
Heckling.
Get him off! Guy Beardy! You forgot your lines and you forgot to shave. Get off, you bald slaphead! Yeah? Was that a bit too much? Did I go too far? I tell you what we'll do. We'll have a quick break, Rashid.
Yeah.
Compose yourself. When we come back, boom, you're going to go straight into it, brother, yeah?
Boom. All right, then.
Nice one, mate. Thank you very much. Okay, so he's already my sister's favourite caller. He's about to become my least favourite caller unless he can pull this off. And the whole of the nation is really, really willing this spunky young guy with the beard and the slaphead to do this jingle. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Rashid?
Iain Lee.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed, Rashid. Two favours. First of all, could you? We've got the introduction to the podcast. I think the best we had was Alan Caddick and Dan waffling on, so I think we're using that. Rashid, could you record for us just now the outroduction, if you will, to today's Best of podcast?
The out of? How do you say it?
The outroduction. It's like the opposite of introduction. It's outroduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Iain Lee podcast. And this is the outroduction.
And if you could also just do bam ba 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 bang a dang dang a ding a dong ding a ding a bom 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 boo.
Blue blue blue. Do 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 do. Ba 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 bam ba dam bam ba dong ding ba ding ba dong ding blue moon.
Thank you, Rashid. Have a good weekend, mate. Az is on the line. Yes, Az.
All right, Ian, as you were.
As you were. As you were.
As you were, mate, I have to get on that quickly. Bomb, 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 dang a dang a ding a dong ding a ding a dong ding. That's
Well, we're having a ba 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 dang a dang dang a ding a dong ding blue moon.
I love doing that. Whenever it comes up on my shuffle, I have to do it.
What? You're a young man. How have you got that on your iPod?
I don't know. I heard it on TV once and I downloaded it, and every time it comes up in the car, I'm driving along going bomb, 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 bomb.
It's a fun song, isn't it? It's a fun song,
wicked.
but without being a novelty song. It's a good song.
It's awesome.
What you got for us, Az?
Well, as part of your slightly melancholy tone tonight, I want to mention, because I listen to some of your old school podcasts still, I've got this weird kind of thing where during the day I'll listen to something from like 8 years ago, and then I listen to you now in the evening, and it's kind of like that rubbish Nicholas Lyndhurst sitcom, that Goodnight Sweetheart.
Yes.
Because it'll be during the day, I'll be hearing you talk about how Apple are bringing out a brand new iPod that's a phone.
Yeah.
And how a brand new episode of Lost is coming out.
Oh, yeah.
And then in the evening, you'll be talking about Brexit, and I'll get really confused.
No, I'm not talking about Brexit.
Yeah, I know, but you talk about not talking about Brexit.
Oh, yeah. That's correct. Yeah, that's correct.
You mention it and how it's rubbish to talk about it.
Yeah, well, we can't even say this now. Here's the thing, man. There are so many elections going on. We can't even really have this conversation. So I'm going to just nudge you onto the other side of the conversation. Honestly, because the rules are weird. The rules are weird. No, it's fine. We're not in trouble. We're just on the right side of it. But the rules are weird. But can't talk about that, and we can't talk about the other guy.
Well, what we can do is bomb, dang, a ding, a dong, ding, a ding, a dong, ding, blue moon. And now no one even remembers that was mentioned.
It's like the Men in Black, which I've never seen, but they have a little thing, don't they, where they erase people's minds, and I think we've just done that. Anything else?
They should have done it with blue moons. Just one other thing as well.
Go on.
I work in a lab doing cancer research.
Hey, have you found a cure yet?
No, not yet. I found a bit more cancer though.
Okay.
Which isn't good.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I'm in the lab and everyone's gone home and I'm having a late one because it's a pain in the bum experiment, I sometimes put your old stuff on and listen to it in the lab. So just to let you know, you are indirectly contributing to cancer research.
Hey! Beautiful!
Well, that might cheer you up.
Well, listen, guys, you keep doing the work that you keep doing. Mr. Ethical, you remember we were talking about Mr. Ethical earlier on, right? Someone has got in touch and said, you should call him. Ian's talking about you. He says, no, I was on Russia today. I don't need to talk to him. He was on Russia today, and then they deleted the video. So, and then he's just tweeted, I'm still awake. Ian can call me. And I've just tweeted, no. It's a phone in, not a phone out.
Dear.
Oh man alive! Listen, everyone is welcome to call in. Okay, everybody's welcome to call in, and
I hope he does. I really want him to.
Oh, I don't care either way, and I say that with respect. Honestly, I don't care either way. I would like to shake hands with the gentleman, metaphorically, not literally, metaphorically shake hands and clear the air. I suspect, and this is me being slightly unfair because I'm making things up, I suspect he is the kind of person that isn't happy with shaking hands and compromise. But I'm more than happy to shake hands and clear the air if there's any ill will after, the Twitter spat that we had today. But, it's a phone. He's calling in. He says he's going to call in on Twitter. All right.
Well, you know the best way to clear the air, don't you?
What? Drop one.
Bomb, dang, a dang, a ding, a dong, ding, a ding, a dong, ding, blue moon, blue moon, ding, a ding, a ding, blue moon, ding, a ding, a ding, blue moon, ding, a ding, a ding, bomb, dang, ding, bomb, dang, ding, a ding, a dong, ding, blue.
Thank you very much, Az. 0844 499 1000. So the gentleman, Mr. Ethical, says he's going to call in now. We'll see if he does. He's more than welcome. As are you, dear listener, to call in. It's, it is a show where anybody can call in and about anything. I mean, now legally there are certain things that we can't quite talk about because there are various elections coming up, and it's one of the weird rules of the land. There we go. One of the weird rules of the land that we can't talk about certain things, and that's absolutely fine. Why do I feel slightly nervous all of a sudden? He's just popped up on the screen. Why do I feel slightly nervous? Isn't that funny? The number came up, and my heart fluttered a little bit, and I feel a little bit uncomfortable. Do you want to call him back? Just because I want this to be to be fair and everything. Let's see. Let's see what happens. It's called a conversation, and we don't like them scripted. 0844 499 1000. Don't forget, Kathy's busy beavering away on the podcasts at the moment. And if you go to iTunes and type in Iain Lee and Talk Radio, you can download the podcasts. Right, he's called in. Hello, Mr. Ethical. What's your name?
Nicholas Wilson.
Hello, Nicholas. Listen, I would like to apologise if there is any ill will from our conversations on Twitter earlier on.
No ill will, but I think there was a misunderstanding. I was talking about Talk Radio. You thought I was talking about you, and so you had a go at me, and I wasn't.
Well, you directed it at me. You did say...
No, one of my followers directed
No, but you did say you cut me off. And
when I say you, I mean Talk Radio.
Well, I just think one little tip, and I don't mean to sound patronising, is you just need to be more specific, because
if I was cut off by the BBC, by an interviewer on the BBC, I would say you cut me off. I'm talking about the BBC.
Yeah, but when if I've still worked at the BBC, and
Ian, do you want to talk about what I have to say?
Yeah, I do. I do. But I just want to address the conversation that certainly had me discombobulated earlier on today.
I want to apologise too. I mean, I was angry.
Yep.
You were angry. We had a spat on Twitter. It's not a big deal.
No, I accept your apology.
I've been on Russia Today tonight, on RT News tonight. I don't really need to talk to you.
They took that video down, didn't they?
No, they put it back up.
They put it back up?
Yeah.
What,
I'll tell you why they put it back up, because they were very worried about something I said.
Okay.
And then after the interview, I sent them a link.
Okay.
I sent them an email with links to the government documents that I was referring to.
Okay.
It's all out there, but it's not reported by the press.
Hang on one second, Nicholas, because we obviously had a communication earlier on that a lot of people won't be aware of. And I do just have to say that you know more about this than I do, and if there is anything that I think might...
You will cut me off, I know.
No, I won't cut you off. I will dump it. But if there's anything I think that will get me in legal trouble...
All right, I understand. All right, I won't talk about anything...
No, Nicholas, please, 1 second. There is. I have to say, I thought we made peace, but there is a little attitude, and I just have to explain the laws of broadcasting.
No, you don't.
I do.
I've worked in the law all my life.
No, I'm not explaining it to you. I'm explaining it to the listener.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm explaining it to the listener.
Yes, go on.
Thank you very much. I don't like your tone, sir. I'm explaining it to the listener. If there is anything that that sounds to me like it is libelous, whether you have the information or not, I will dump that. We have a 7-second delay. Okay?
Fine. Yeah.
What would you like to say?
Aren't you going to ask me anything?
I don't quite know what you mentioned something about a bank.
Did you watch the interview on RT News?
No, I didn't. I don't really watch much television.
So you don't really know anything about me?
Well, do you know anything about me?
No, never heard of you.
Okay, right. So that makes us equal.
Uh-huh.
So what is it that's got you so angry? What's your beef?
Well, let me explain to you. For 12 years, I've been campaigning about an enormous fraud by HSBC Bank. Now you're going to cut me off, aren't you?
No.
Okay. The fraud has been upheld by the Solicitors Regulation Authority. It's been upheld by the Office of Fair Trading. The FCA covered it up. I complained about the FCA, and my complaint was upheld by the Complaints Commissioner. The FCA
what was the complaint? Because you have me at a disadvantage, sir. What was the complaint?
The complaint was the way the FCA handled it, because they colluded with the bank and they copied and pasted on dishonest information from the bank to me and a third person.
What happened? How did the bank hurt you?
The bank has never hurt me. It's hurt 500,000 to 600,000 people by defrauding them about £1 billion.
Okay.
This is one of the biggest scandals in the UK for decades.
Okay.
You seem to be patronising me.
No,
Why don't you do your research and understand the...
There's your dump.
Do your research.
Listen, Nicholas.
What?
Indeed. Nicholas, do you want... Now, Nicholas, I want to... Nicholas, he's gone. Okay, he went. Did you get that? I got the F word. Did you get the P and the W word? Did you manage to... Did I get it as well? I had a double dump. I got the double dump. Is that how it works? got a double dump. You heard that on Periscope. Okay, the Periscopers would have heard that, and I apologise if anybody was offended by that. I feel I ought to do that. I wonder why that guy's hurting so much. I wonder why he's so upset. I suspect, and I'm making this up, it's not to do with the bank. Wasn't patronising him at all. I didn't understand the story. So I was trying to get him to simplify it. No reason I should have done any research. He's a caller to the show. Don't research the callers to the show. That was a surprise, wasn't it? That was a surprise ending. You don't look surprised by that ending, Kath. I'm surprised by that ending. I genuinely thought he was going to... Nicholas, I don't often do this, right? You can call in again when the dump builds up. I've never had anyone as angry as that on the radio before.
Talk.
Give it some lip.
Talk Radio.
I just wonder why he's so upset. I wasn't. If anything, I was patronising myself. I didn't understand the story. I still don't understand the story. He's got very angry on Twitter. More than welcome to call in again when the dump builds up. It takes a few minutes. Should be built up by the time we get back from the news. Speaking of which, here it is. Wow, I've never had. First of all, but here's a thing, right? Let me just get technical for a second. If you're calling in, just give me a couple of minutes, because I'll get a bit geeky and technical on radio, right? We have here, okay, all commercial stations I've worked at before have a thing called a dump. What that is, and I have no idea how it works, okay? I've had geeks explain the technology to me, and I don't understand how it works, right? I'm not going to answer the phone for a couple of minutes. If you're calling in, just save your money. So I don't know the science behind it. Basically, what I say in the studio, in commercial radio stations, doesn't get broadcast for 7 seconds. There's a 7-second delay. So you will hear what I say 7 seconds after I say it. That's not actually completely accurate, because there will be a delay on DAB, there'll be a different delay online, and a slight delay on FM. Right, okay. But basically, what I'm saying doesn't get broadcast. You will hear it 7 seconds later, right? And that's for instances like that, when people lose their temper and they swear, or they are libelous, or they say something horrendous. Can you give him a call back? He wants to come back on. We'll try him again. At this station, we've got a double dump, and I've never had this before, so we have 2 7-second delays. Okay, so we hit this button that says dump, it dumps that 7 seconds. So if someone swears, or is offensive, or is libelous, then that 7 seconds doesn't get broadcast. You will hear it on the Periscope, because you're hearing what I'm hearing in the studio. You wouldn't hear it at home. And basically, it's so that offensive language doesn't get out. It's so that legally I am protected and the station is protected if someone says something that is libelous or litigious. Here's a thing, radio geeks. They don't have a 7-second delay at the BBC. Not local radio, not 4, not 5, not any of them. They don't have a 7-second delay. Just a little tip for you. We do. Now, Id, headphones on, microphone up.
Hi.
Has our delay built back up?
Let me just check. Yes, it has.
And it does. We've got double dump.
Yep. So they're.
And the way it works is it takes the gaps and it stretches the gaps. Is that right? I think that's right. It stretches the silences.
Yeah.
And creates like a time lag.
It does it very slowly as well.
What's great is when I used to be on a music station, if you did a dump and then played a song, you could hear the song stretching out as it stretched time. Now, why am I nervous again? I was nervous last time. I'm nervous this time, and it's my body that's doing it. Isn't it weird? My body is my breath is going, my heart is going. Isn't that funny? Okay. Before the news, I was trying to speak to a guest, Nicholas, who told me to F off, and then told me to piss off, and then called me a W. Okay. I'm guessing he was nervous. Let's try him again. Nicholas.
Hello, Ian. I'm not nervous at all. You're nervous.
I am nervous, and it's weird because it's the body.
You're nervous about what I'm going to say.
No. I don't know what it is. It's a completely involuntary bodily reaction. The first time I saw you calling, I got nervous. My heart went. My blood pressure has gone.
I'm right. I'll tell you who else gets nervous about me. David Cameron, George Osborne, HSBC Bank, the Financial Conduct
Before we
Authority,
continue,
the Solicitors Regulation Authority, the Ministry of Justice.
Why are you so angry?
Why do you think I'm angry?
Because I don't know if you remember, about 8 minutes ago, you swore three times at a man you'd never... No.
You seem to think that I'm a crank, because I've got some sort of conspiracy
This is coming totally from
you.
you.
Hear the truth? I will tell you the whole story.
You can tell me the story in a second, but you know, listen, you've just sworn at me 3 times, and I'm not asking for an apology, and I've let you come back. I've let you come back on.
Ian,
Let's
do a deal. Let's do a deal.
I'm not doing a deal with you.
I won't swear.
I'm not doing a deal with you.
All right, you might want to do a deal with me.
No,
okay,
why would I want to do a deal that someone's just been abusive to me?
What I was going to suggest is I won't swear at you if you let me tell my story.
I was letting you tell your story, but you're assuming that there is a certain amount of knowledge that I and my listeners have, and I certainly don't. My listeners might do.
I'll tell you the whole story. But you will cut me off because you would be terrified of what I've got to say.
I'm terrified you're gonna say that I'm into onanism again.
You think I'm going to commit libel and you're going to get sued.
No, I'm not, Nicholas.
Listen, I want the truth.
Nicholas, here we go. Here comes the anger. Here comes the anger. Here comes the anger. Right.
Are you interested in the truth?
Here comes the anger. Right, that I've mentioned. What is going on in you?
Let me tell my story then.
What is going on in your life?
Shall I tell the story?
What is going on in your life that you are getting so angry?
I'm a whistleblower for 12 years. I've lost everything in my life.
Right.
I get repossessed every few months because I can't pay my mortgage.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Benefits.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I used to work for a firm.
I'm sorry to hear that, Nicholas. I would like to, Nicholas. I would like to have a conversation with you.
Do you want to hear my story or not?
I want to have a conversation with you, Nicholas. I don't want to be preached to.
Ask me a question.
I'm really sorry you're going through that.
Ask me a question.
I'm really sorry that you're going through.
Oh, by the way, I also have mental health problems. So when all your followers say, I need help and stuff.
They say that from some of them are actually a couple of them are actually saying that from a place of love.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah. Listen, if you want to play, do you want to play? We can play mental health top trums if you want. I don't really want to do that.
Ask me a question.
Okay. I'm really sorry. Do you want to tell us? Do you? Okay. I'm going to ask you a question. What mental health issues have you got? And how does that impact?
And stress and depression.
Yeah, me too. It's tough, isn't it?
It's very tough, yeah.
How do you deal with it?
I'm on medication.
What you on?
Citalopram.
Me too. How?
Wow.
What dosage are you on?
13 milligrams.
Okay, I'm on 20. I'm on a new one as well, mirtazapine, I think, which is supposed to help me sleep.
Never heard of it.
But
do you want to talk about HSBC?
We'll get there.
Medication.
We'll get there. I think it's interesting.
Okay. How long have we got?
We've got till 1 o'clock.
It's a long story.
Okay.
Come on, let's do this then. Okay, if you're up for it, let's do it.
I'm on
Go.
I'm going. I'm on mirtazapine as well. It's only.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Okay.
But does it work for you?
I don't know yet. It's like early days. It's like the first couple of weeks, and it's making me. I'll sleep for 12 hours straight, get up for a couple of hours, and then go back to bed.
Yeah, I sleep about 18 hours a day.
It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I sometimes find that because of my depression, and I've been suicidal and stuff, that it makes me aggressive to people.
Yeah. Yeah, go on.
My aggression is often misplaced.
Yeah.
Because I don't like myself, I take it out on other people.
Oh, like me, you mean?
Didn't say that at all. Didn't say that at all, Nicholas.
This is a joke. Let's talk about HSBC, hey?
I'm more interested in you.
Oh, no, you're not.
Yeah, I am. And I don't think anyone said that to you for a long time.
What do you want to know about me?
I want to know what's going on in your life, man, because you are
really
angry.
I can't try to tell you, but you keep talking about my medication. I mean, what do you want to know about my life? I studied at the Royal College of Music.
What did you study? That's interesting.
Music. I'm a composer. I studied at the Royal College of Art.
Fantastic.
I've written music for Peter Greenaway. I've always my main interest in life is music, but I used to work in the law to pay the rent.
When was the last time you played an instrument? Was it piano? I'm guessing.
I played the piano.
When was the last time you sat down and played the piano?
About 3 years ago.
Why so long?
Because I have depression.
And that makes it hard to play.
I have no interest in it anymore.
Yeah.
I can't concentrate. I can't even read a newspaper article.
I love reading books, right?
Mm-hmm.
And since I've started this new thing, I've not been able to. I can't read a book. I can't sit down and read a book. And I love reading books. And I've been buying loads of books. And I cannot sit down and read a book, and it's breaking my heart.
I can't even read a news story. I can't read a complete article. I tweet things. So people send me links, and I'll read the headlines, and I'll see if it's relevant to what I'm doing. And I'll tweet it, but it doesn't mean I've read it, because I can't get to the end of a news article.
That's sad.
And I'll explain, if you want to know why that is, I can explain it to you.
Go on.
Well, it's because I used to have a very good job in the law,
Okay.
and I came across a situation where a bank took over my client's accounts and started doing something illegal. I won't mention names, I'll make it very
Beautiful,
simple.
thank you. I appreciate that, Nicholas, thank you.
And then I reported my firm to the Law Society because of what I refused to do the work because it was illegal. I was immediately sacked.
Yeah.
The Law Society upheld my complaint and agreed that it was illegal, but nothing was done about it. And then a few years later, the Office of Fair Trading made an order against the bank, telling them to stop doing what they were doing. But in between, there was 7 years between the time I told the bank what they were doing was illegal and the OFT telling them to stop doing it. That was in 2010. Ever since, I have been campaigning so that 500,000 to 600,000 people can get their money back, and people who don't even know that they have been defrauded by a bank.
Yeah.
Because it's been covered up by the media. The head of the BBC is a director of the bank.
Okay.
The bank also has...
Okay, I'm going to interrupt.
Go on.
Because we're having a conversation. I'm going to go to break in a second, but you can stick around. So you say that the head of the BBC has shares in this bank, but
no, it's not shares. It's a director.
Okay, thank you. But why is why is the media covering it up? Just because they won't let you on to talk about it? Is that your evidence? That's a proper question, man. That's a proper question.
Well, let me explain.
Is that your evidence?
The bank's quite a big
No,
bank.
I want you to answer the question. Is that
I'm answering it. I'm answering it.
Let me just rephrase the question so I've got it in my head. Okay, I just want to re-ask it. Is your evidence that is part of your evidence that there is a media cover-up that the fact that you don't seem to get onto many media outlets to talk about it?
Well, let me give you a little...
I want you to answer that question. I don't want a story. I want you to answer that question.
I'm fighting the media too. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a real reason. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the reason you're not getting on is not necessarily because of a media conspiracy. Hey, it might be. I don't know.
Oh, it's because I'm rude.
Yes.
Is that what you're going to say?
Yes.
Iain, I have dealt with the media for about 6 years.
Very badly, it would seem.
My story has
judging from today.
My story has been spiked by Private Eye, by Sunday Times.
Brilliant. Well, then you're in with Private Eye. But your attitude. All I know is of you today, and I noticed.
Nothing to do with my attitude.
Please,
it's
Nicholas.
Of the corruption.
Nicholas, I've seen your name pop up a few times when I'm on the studio because for some reason a couple of tweets have popped up.
Mm-hmm.
And all I really know about is what I've encountered today.
Yeah. All right. Well, so shall we
I've not
agree
finished
that you don't really know anything about what?
No, exactly. So all I've got to go on is the contact that we have had today.
All right.
Okay.
Let me tell you a story.
And it is. I don't want to hear a story. It is very aggressive, and it comes across.
I'm aggressive.
Exactly. It comes across as unpleasant.
Well, I'm sorry. My job is not to flatter people.
No. I don't want to be flattered. I don't want to be flattered. But I just think that if you want to get into various media outlets.
No, I've been in lots of media outlets, but they dump it, and they dump it because.
Have you been dumped tonight?
Yes.
What was dumped? What was dumped tonight?
RT News.
No, on my show. What was dumped tonight on my show?
Well, you dumped me earlier on.
Yeah, because you swore.
Yeah, because you started patronising me.
No, I didn't. I was having
what
a
you want to do,
Nicholas.
I think what you
Here
want
we
to
go.
do with this is not really get to the truth.
I've given you.
I think you want to humiliate me.
No.
Want to get to
That's
the
your
truth.
illness talking, Nicholas. Focus. That is your illness
Don't
talking.
patronise me, Ian,
Focus.
or I will dump you.
Focus.
Do you want to know the truth or not?
Focus. I want to talk to Nicholas. I do not want to
I'm
talk to
here.
your. I don't want to talk to your
Truth of
illness.
What is the corruption in this country? Do you want
I
to know
don't
about it or not?
want to talk to the illness. I want to talk to Nicholas the
You are
composer.
patronising me.
I want to talk to the composer. I want to talk to the artist. I want to talk to the artist in you. I don't want to talk to the illness.
Go for it. What do you want to
Let
talk
it go,
about?
man. Let it go.
What do you want to talk about? Scarlatti?
No.
What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about this, but I want to talk to Nicholas the pianist.
Yeah,
not
go on.
Nicholas the depressive, not Nicholas the man on medication, not Nicholas the man who suffers from anxiety or whatever else it was. I've forgotten, sorry. I want to talk to the artist about this.
Go on then. Well, I did something creative this week. It was quite good. I tried to sell David Cameron on eBay. That went viral. That's quite a creative
That's a nice little gimmick. That's great.
Yeah,
How did it
was
go?
a very good gimmick. It went viral. It was in the Mirror.
How much did you get for him?
What?
How much did you get for him in the end?
Well, it was taken off. It got to 65,000.
That's a good. Now, see, that is funny. That's funny.
I was selling him for parts only because it didn't work.
Yeah. That's funny.
And there's a guard. It was very funny.
Yes, that's good. That's the artist.
Well, very creative. You have to be creative.
That's the artist.
Expose the truth.
That's the guy I want to talk. Listen, I've got to take some adverts. Can you wait a couple of minutes?
Yeah.
All right. Iain Lee, Talk Radio. Don't just if you're calling in, just save your calls for the moment because I've got someone on the line. I've got Nicholas on the line, who we have learnt a lot about. We've learnt that he is an artist and a composer. We've also learnt that he struggles day to day, like a lot of us do, with depression, and which is interesting because we've been talking about depression a lot tonight anyway, and it seems to be a theme that is a constant throughout the show that just keeps popping up, and that's good. And Nicholas is very angry because of an injustice and an illegality that he has spotted. All right, Nicholas, carry on.
Well, it was interesting in that break that you had an advert for PPI.
We can't talk about the adverts, and that's just one of the rules of the broadcasting.
Well, I'm not talking about the adverts. I'm talking about PPI.
Okay, go on.
And banks. And you seem to be, your stick seems to be being supportive and human. Compassionate. So if you actually let me tell my story, you would find that probably the demographic of your listeners, there would be probably thousands of people that could get money back from HSBC.
I'm not stopping you telling the story.
Well, let's do it.
We are, and we have been for the last 20 minutes.
Well, I haven't really said much about the fraud yet, have I?
Let's get back into it.
Okay, go.
Tell me about it.
Well, where we got to, I worked for a law firm. I reported them to the Law Society. The Law Society upheld my complaint. The OFT made an order against them. I had a meeting on Wednesday this week at the Financial Conduct Authority in London.
How did that go?
It was very good.
What did they say? We've gone beyond the boundaries of my knowledge in the world of finance. So if I ask a dumb question, it's not patronising. It's just because I don't know.
All right. I'm quite happy to explain.
Okay. What happened at the meeting and how did it go?
Well, it's very interesting my relationship with the Financial Conduct Authority because last year they completely screwed up with their investigation into what my allegations are.
Yeah.
And I reported them to the Complaints Commission. I made a complaint against them because they colluded with HSBC. And
I just have to say, for legal reasons, in your opinion, and I know that you...
It's nothing to do with my opinion, Ian.
Nicholas,
it's on my website.
Nicholas, just because...
It's been in the Times, it's been in the Financial Times, it's been in the Guardian, it's news.
Nicholas.
Do your research.
Nicholas.
What? It's not opinion. I'm not talking opinion. I'm talking fact.
Nicholas, but when you accuse a company of something, and you obviously know a lot more about it than I do, Nicholas, I have to cover my own arse. Okay?
Jesus Christ. So you'd rather talk about my medication?
I would actually, yeah, because I think it's more interesting and more human. But I'm allowing you to talk about this. But I just have to say,
what?
in
Ian,
your opinion, I have to say that to. No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to read into it. I'm not going to go and look at. I'm talking to you now.
Want to remain ignorant, and you won't let me talk about the truth.
I'm letting you talk about the truth. I am Nicholas.
All right.
I am letting you talk about it. I am putting in. I am putting in a few caveats that I have to do for legal purposes.
Ian, the only reason I had a meeting at the FCA is because I complained about them.
Okay.
All right.
I have to, Nicholas. I'm gonna let you carry on.
Yeah.
I have to put these legal disclaimers in case, for whatever reason, I don't care. Do you know what? Do you know what? So you say, I don't know that, and I'm protecting my job. I've lost too many jobs because I've let stuff go out that shouldn't have gone out. Okay?
All right. Well,
so I am protecting you, Nicholas. You'll be quiet for a second because I'm protecting the roof over my kids' house, over my kids' heads, and the food that goes into their mouth. Okay?
Lucky for you.
Yes, lucky for me and lucky for them.
Good.
In your opinion,
That's
Nicholas,
what
carry on.
every single mainstream media journalist is advocating.
I'm not a journalist.
I want to protect my.
I want to protect my kids. I want to protect. No. I didn't say that.
The biggest
Nicholas
in banking history in the UK.
Nicholas.
They've all
Nicholas
of their mortgages.
Stop.
All right.
Stop.
Go on. You asked me at the
I want to protect my kids by not losing my job. And I'll say this again. I am not a journalist. I'm a bloke. I'm a bloke with a microphone and a red light in front of me. That's it. So what happened at the meeting? What happened? I'm asking you now. What happened at the meeting?
Well, I have to explain. The reason I had a meeting is. All right, I won't go into the background, but I made a complaint against the FCA. The complaint was upheld by the Complaints Commissioner. As a result of that, the FCA apologised to me, they paid me compensation, and they agreed to reopen the investigation.
What happened at the meeting?
They agreed to reopen the investigation into the HSBC fraud. At the meeting, there were 4 people from the FCA, 2 people from the Complex Cases Department, 2 investigators from the Whistleblowers Department. One guy had flown down from Edinburgh for the meeting.
What happened at the meeting? I don't care where they came from.
And I was there with a barrister, a well-known whistleblower.
I'm going to ask you one more time. What happened at the meeting?
I presented my evidence at the meeting. It was recorded by them. It was recorded by me.
Okay.
I explained to them. It was about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I went through the whole story, which I'd like to go through with you, but you won't let me. I explained the whole story of the background to the fraud.
Yeah.
They took notes, and at the end of the meeting, we all said goodbye, and that was the end of it.
So what was there a conclusion reached at the end of the meeting?
No, that's not how it works.
Okay. Will there be a conclusion?
Well, I'm hoping there will be, but if there isn't, they will never tell me or anybody else, because there's a thing called Section 348 of the, I think, Financial Services Act or something, where the FCA...
Now, what I'm going to do... You've had half an hour of the show, which is more than any other caller gets.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna park it there, and I suspect, and I make up, and maybe you're going to prove me wrong. I make up that you're going to get angry and consider that as part of the conspiracy.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
No, I didn't say you were. But people who aren't conspiracy theorists can still believe in a conspiracy. Are you content with the half an hour you've had on national radio?
No.
No. Okay, I didn't think so. Do you still see? Because
I had 4 minutes on Russia Today, and I said far more damaging.
Okay. Do you still regularly see a doctor?
It's none of your business.
No, I know it's none of my business, but I thought we'd reached the stage where we could discuss that because may I make
my friend? Is that what it is?
No, not at all. No. May I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
I regularly go and see my doctor to discuss my medication and to discuss how I'm feeling and the impact it's having. I'm going to go and see him in 2 weeks after I've been on these pills for a month.
That's good. So tell me this then. Do you think if I went to see my doctor, he will convince me that what I'm saying is not true?
No, but he might be able to give you a chemical that doesn't make you feel as though the world is against you.
Oh, I see. So I think the world's against me because I'm trying to expose a massive.
I don't think you're well, Nicholas. You've
just dug your grave.
No, I haven't. Let me finish the sentence. Let me finish. No, let me finish this sentence. I think you may have discovered. I think you may have discovered.
You think I'm unwell?
You've admitted you're unwell. I think you may have discovered a fraud.
Because of the way I've been treated by people like you.
You may have discovered. It's not my fault you're depressed, Nicholas, and you know that, and that's unfair.
Well, the way
that's
you're
unfair.
Me makes me very, very stressed.
I'm treating
very,
you
very angry.
No, it doesn't. You're
not letting me tell the story.
You're making
your. I've got my kids to feed.
When somebody, I have got my kids to feed. When we get angry, when I get angry at something someone else says. I'm talking about me now. I am allowing myself to get angry. They're not making me angry. I'm making myself angry.
I don't need your philosophy.
It's not philosophy. It's basic therapy that I've had. But all I'm saying is, you may have
no. Go and see my doctor because I'm unwell.
Yes. I am. Go and see your doctor. Well, you may have discovered a massive.
I may.
You may have done. You may have discovered.
What about the SRA? What about the Office
you
of
may
Trading?
Have discovered.
Do you think they may have discovered
I'm going to finish.
Something wrong?
I'm going to finish the sentence, Nicholas, please.
Go.
You may well have discovered a massive fraudulent illegality, criminal activity. You may well have done.
I have.
But running parallel to that
has destroyed me.
Well, exactly, and that's the heartbreaking thing. Running parallel to that, you're ill, Nicholas.
I am ill, yeah.
You're ill. And I, as a human being with a heart and a soul, I am concerned.
But I'm not insane. I'm not
Didn't say that.
Didn't
say that.
I'm depressed.
Yeah, exactly. But don't you think that depression...
Still tell the truth. My depression doesn't prevent me from telling the truth.
My depression prevents me from acknowledging reality sometimes.
Well, that's obvious.
But I am human enough to know that when someone is ill and is insulting me, that I don't need to hear it. I don't need to hear it.
I didn't insult you, Ian. I'm trying to say to you, do you understand the degree of corruption that is going on in this country?
No, I don't.
And so your way of dealing with that is to tell me that I'm ill.
No, I'm not telling you. You've told me that you're ill, Nicholas.
Well, I've got depression, but I'm not deluded.
I didn't say you were. All I said was that when I am depressed, I sometimes don't acknowledge the reality that is around me. I make up my own reality.
Well, it's obvious.
And again, that's a pop at me, isn't it? Because you're having a pop at me there, aren't you?
I'm not having a pop at you.
But you're saying it's obvious that I don't acknowge reality.
Yeah, because you're not letting me tell. Nicholas, you think by me telling the truth that
I'm going to let you go, mate.
Good.
I really appreciate your time this evening. Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye bye. Well, I want to say I'm glad that we did that and I enjoyed that. I don't know if I am glad and I don't know if I did enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean. Because you don't know if you enjoyed it and you don't know if you're glad. Should we take calls straight to air for the last 30 minutes of the show? Shall we do that? 0844 499 1000. I do. Can I just say, I love this job. I love this job. I mean, really. I have missed doing late night radio. Man, I've missed it. Thank you for that, Nicholas. I appreciate your time. 0844 499 1000. Calls cost 7 pence a minute plus your provider's access charge. Significantly more if you're calling from a mobile. The way it works is I touch the screen, I say line 1, you're on the wireless.
Oh, Ian, Gary and Gould, how are you?
I'm alright, mate. How you doing?
Blimey, yeah, that was hardcore, wasn't it?
It was a conversation. It was a conversation. We're all God's children.
I enjoyed it. We've all got kids to feed. So, with that in mind, what is the meaning of life, Ian?
The meaning of life is to eat as much good food as you can, be as nice to as many people as you can, and listen to the Beach Boys.
Oh, you've nailed it. I'm enjoying that. I'll have that. I'll have that one. That's a good one. That's light, that's airy, that's positive. We'll have that. Listen, I want to ask you about cinemas. Did you see this story about...
Yes, go on. I know what you're going to say.
Chain? Yeah, mobile phones.
They're going to allow... The cinema chain, they want to allow mobile phones in the cinema. No.
What were they thinking? What on earth were they... And they backtrack now, so they're not going to allow them, thankfully. But the whole point of going to the cinema is to switch off.
Yeah. There was a few months ago, right, I was in the cinema with my kids, maybe it was last year, and the fella in front of me suddenly got his phone out, right, and he was texting, and I was angry, but I thought, I'm going to let it go, right? Then he made a phone call. And he was being very quiet on the phone, right? And then it was a kid's film. Then he gave the phone to his kids. And I tapped him on the shoulder. I said, mate, I'm really sorry. Can you turn your phone off, please? And the kid was on the phone talking to his mum. It was incredible.
Yeah, there was a girl in front of me who answered her phone just at the point where the plot was about to break to the main thing, and then walks out giggling, wandering down like, come on, can we not just disconnect? And when you're a stand-up man, you'll have seen people in stand-up audiences on their phones, and it's like people can't seem to understand that they're not at home watching their telly. This isn't telly. This is public.
But then the thing is, I genuinely, you get AA for alcoholics and you get NA for drug addicts. I genuinely think at some point we're going to have 12-step meetings for people who are addicted to their smartphones. Because I will be out with the kids, right? And I'll be looking on Twitter, and I think I've got 2 hours with the kids. What am I looking at this rubbish for?
I'm exactly the same, and I walked into a tree last week because I was looking on my phone.
08444991000. What have you walked into?
That's a phoner.
You've done it. You see,
that.
My job is as easy as that. Speaking of easy, line 2, you're on the wireless.
Good evening, Ian. You deserve a medal for that, idiot.
Let's be nice. Let's be nice. You know, he's a troubled gentleman who feels that there is great injustice in the world.
Yeah, well, I was happy when I came upstairs, but you depressed me.
Oh, flipping it, Dennis.
You could depress Mount Everest.
When are you 91, Dennis?
Not till the end of May.
I got Tenor.
Don't worry.
Tenor says you won't make it. Tenor says you won't make it.
No, I came up here all happy. Oh, and I put that envelope on, and oh God, it makes me want to go out and shoot myself.
Well, I'd be a tenner in if you did.
Wouldn't it?
What can I do to cheer you up, Dennis? Would you like a happy finish?
Yes, any way you like.
Oh, go on then. Well, thank you very much indeed. Let's go to line 2. 2, you're on the wireless. Oh, no, that's not work. Why don't you try again? They go a little bit clunky sometimes. Line 2, you're on the wireless. Come on, keep doing it. You've all dropped out apart from one fella.
Hello?
Who's that?
It's Elliot.
Hello, Elliot. What have you got for us? That's a good song. How long did it take you to write that?
About 10 seconds.
Flipping it, you're brilliant.
I know, I'm good, ain't I thought I'd ring in and say hello.
Hello, Elliot.
You asked at 10 o'clock, asked at 10 o'clock, how you doing?
Yeah, how you doing? You sounds like you're doing well. You coming up?
I'm alright, yeah. How are you?
I'm not as happy as...
What,
yes, hello.
I saw that person on Twitter earlier.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to talk about it, but I just want to say he was an idiot.
Well, yeah. Whereabouts you from? Is that an Exeter accent?
I'm in Eastbourne. I'm sort of like abroad.
But where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm from Somerset.
Somerset. Oh, where about? Wells? Do you know Wells?
I do know Wells. Yeah.
Wells Cathedral. Yeah. I once gate crashed a Christian barn dance at Wells, and when we all joined hands to dance, I was with a mate who only had one hand. Boy, they were freaked out when someone went to grab his stump. It's true. It's true. It's based on a true story, that sentence.
I'm sure it is.
Anyway. All right. It's not the best line, Elliot. You're more than welcome to call in again, but it's a slightly shocking line. Line 1, you're on the wireless. Oh, for some reason, it doesn't always work. Let's try this one. Line 2? Hello?
Unbreakable, stay alive, damn it. It's a miracle. Unbreakable, stay alive, damn it. Females are born unbreakable, stay alive, damn it.
What is this? This sounds like a good song.
Kimmy Schmidt theme.
Kimmy Schmidt. I didn't really like it. Can I just say, right? Thank you for that. The Netflix own brand TV series. They're a bit poor. They're a bit poor. You can't speak, can you?
I can translate for him. He's shaking his head, saying, making a murderer.
Yeah, that was good.
That was
guilty.
Good.
He was so guilty. He was so guilty of both crimes, the rape in episode 1 and the murder at the end. I'm sure of it.
I don't know. I saw that and I was left with doubt the whole way through.
Yeah, but they left out evidence in the documentary.
I did the research afterwards.
I've got a brilliant. My mate Scott makes these brilliant T-shirts of Manitowic County planters, and
I've seen that. I've seen you wear that.
I might wear that one day. You can see me wearing it again. Let's just try this. Hang on a second. Line 1. No, line 1. You're not working for some reason. And this. Let me just try here. Line 2. I heard something. Are you there? Me shouting something very, very quietly. Let's have a break, shall we? The last minutes of the show, the phones are being a little bit funny. Let's see if this works. Yes, line 2.
Yeah. Right now, our guest stars tonight on Shebang, on the Monday night edition, are some lads who just are breaking attendance records all over the Southland and on tour doing the same thing. Establishing new records in the Southland. Couldn't be more pleased because they're a delightful group of guys and extremely talented. So, let's welcome them for the very first time on Shebang. They are the Seeds.
I must listen to the Seeds at some point, if only I had time. Line 2, you're on the wireless. For some reason, I don't know what is the problem with the phones here, that some calls will get through and some calls won't, which makes this tricky. Yes, line 1, you're there.
I see your eyes when you look at me. I can't deny the truth like to see. The look that you gave me because you believe. So you see, your eyes are.
So what's this, the theme tune then, Id?
I have no idea.
I just think that the some of the series on Netflix, I don't think are very. They've got good talent. It's like with Bob and David, right? With Bob Odenkirk and David Cross, two of my favourite comedians. Mr. Show is a brilliant show, and they did a sketch show on Netflix with Bob and David, and it's funny. But there's just something missing. There's production values. That's what it is. There's just something not quite right about their.
Is it cause? Are you watching it on a computer or a tablet, or are you watching it on a TV?
Because
sometimes I feel like watching a Netflix show on a TV just makes it.
I watch it on the TV.
Okay.
I very rarely. I don't watch it on my phone.
Okay. I'm just translating for the person sitting next to me who we can't name for legal reasons.
Yeah. Sexually legal reasons.
Yeah, exactly. Better Call Saul, another good Netflix, he reckons.
What is? Better Call Saul. I didn't like it. Halfway through episode 1, I've got you've got to carry on. All right, because I like the Breaking Bad. Your sign language is excellent, by the way. Thank you for that call. Line 1. Let's go to line 2. Yes, line 2. And then it stops. Why is that, Ed? Do we think? What is that all about? It's very hit and miss. Whereas I bet this one will work. It seems to be alternate. Line 1. Oh no, it's not. It's none of them are working now. Hang on a minute. Let's try. I'm saying that as though I'm doing something different. I'm not doing anything different. Line 1?
Imagine this on a nighttime show, 10 till 1 at night. How awesome would this be, guys? This pairing, huh? Don't forget that now. Anybody got any nighttime gigs going, please?
What you're hearing there was mine and Kath's audition piece for this job. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about that. That was us giving a talk at Next Radio last year. And we knew that the bosses of this radio station were going to be there. And it was our audition piece. We were basically selling ourselves to come and work here.
It obviously worked.
It worked. Yeah, it worked. What do you mean? You can't contribute, mystery guest, with sign language and then not speak. Can you not do like an Indian accent or something? He's implying I had sexual relations with Denny and Liam. Yeah, and so what if I did? Kath volunteered, but I said no, I'll do this one. Line 1.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, you're on the air.
I've had a bit of a funny day today.
Go on, what's happened?
I just wanted to kind of get some feedback about it and what I should have done.
Yeah, go
on. So I commute to London every day. Today I missed breakfast because I got up late.
Yeah.
I had to work for my lunch break, so I was absolutely starving all day, dreaming about food. I got paid today, so I thought, right, I'm going to treat myself
to some food.
Takeaway. Yep. When I got on the train. So I got on the train, absolutely starving. Got my burger out. Didn't have no ketchup.
That's not a euphemism. It was an actual, what we used to call in the old days, a hamburger. Now we tend to call them a beef burger.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, desperate. I think, right, I want to put my ketchup in the burger, and it's in these little sachet things, them ones difficult to rip.
Yeah.
So, seat next to me,
no, don't. Go on. I know where this is going.
Right. I turn around, trying to rip my ketchup, and suddenly some woman sits down next to me.
And when you say rip your ketchup, again, that's not a euphemism for, it was literally a sachet of ketchup.
Yeah, one of them little ones.
Yep. Again, when you say little one, that's not a euphemism for a tiny penis. You mean a tiny, little sachet of ketchup.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
The little red ones.
Now, when you say et cetera, and on it goes. Oh, yes, go on.
She sits down next to me, and you can imagine how furious I was, right?
Because of the ketchup, not because of the woman.
Because the woman sat down on my burger.
She sat on the burger?
She sat on the burger because I had it open on the seat next to me.
Yeah.
And I was, ripping the ketchup in, so I wasn't paying attention, and I thought, someone would notice it. Down she sat.
Yeah.
So I was furious. The people all around me were bursting with laughter, and this poor woman didn't know what to do. So because I was so angry and miserable because I was so hungry, I didn't tell her. Now, I'm feeling tonight guilty when I've got home thinking, oh my God, should I have told her? Maybe
did you not eat it?
I had to get off the train before she got off.
Well, could you say, sorry, love, you sat on my breakfast. Can you shift?
Well, I was a bit... I didn't know
nice
what
buns?
I was just angry.
Nice
I couldn't
buns?
talk to her.
It's a joke.
I couldn't talk to her. I was so angry. But should I feel guilty? Should I have said to her, maybe she's gone on a date and,
No. It's totally... No. You have nothing to feel... And I'm, one of the biggest worries there is. You did nothing wrong. That woman, everyone knows, whenever you sit on a seat, you always look at the seat before you sit down. Supposing there'd been a child there or a puppy. She could have crushed that child. She could have killed that puppy. So she was lucky she's only got burger juice on her bum.
Thanks, Ian.
I'm
sleep well tonight.
I'm glad you'll sleep hungry, but you'll sleep well. Line 2?
Hi there, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. At last, a lady's voice on the radio.
How rare.
I know. Well, no, it has been tonight. It's been really blokish tonight. Normally we get quite a nice mix, but tonight's been. We've had a couple, but it's been quite blokish. So yes, good. Who are you?
I'm Kathy. I spoke to you last Friday about this time as well. Actually.
Oh, hello, Kathy.
We're
going to call you 10 to 1 Kathy. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to call you 10 to 1 Kathy.
So I just wanted to say, you were saying you felt anxious before the caller.
Yeah. I was really anxious.
And I know exactly how that feels. I have depression, anxiety on medication, have been since I was 16. I'm now 35. But you handled it so well. You wouldn't know at all that you had.
It was funny when I saw his name. When I saw his name flash up, just my heart. And he's now been quite obnoxious on Twitter, which is fine. And I've sent a couple of messages. I'm not going to reply to him anymore. And that's good. But when his name came up, boom, the heart went and the stomach went. It was very, very strange.
Get the dry mouth and
but this is my job is doing this. This is my job, and it's only when his name came up, and he's now in a pop at Twitter, and that's absolutely fine if that's what he wants to do. That's great.
But you did it. You handled it so well. It was, and the way you talked him down and calmed down, it's brilliant. And I just wondered, do you still need a link recording for the end of the podcast?
I think we've got it, and I feel bad now because you've been so delightful. Kath is off building the podcast as we speak, so. No, we don't. I mean, you could do one, but there's a strong chance that it probably won't get used.
That's fine. Well, I was just going to say, you've been listening to the Iain Lee Show, home of the double dump. We're proud to use it on Talk Radio.
Right, it's going to clip that because I'm going to have that as a hotkey. What I'd like again is if you could just say, that was a double dump moment.
That was a double dump moment.
Clip that. If we ever have to do a double dump, I do a double dump tonight. If we ever have to do a double dump, then you are the sound of the double dump. How's about them apples?
I have never been so proud in my life.
Have you ever done a double dump?
I've never done a double dump, but give it a go. Do you want me to give it a go?
No, not right now, blimey, no. God, I've never 4 years, I've not needed to use the dump button. Tonight I have to do a double dump. Line 1, you're on the wireless.
Can I tell you a joke to cheer you up?
Yeah, please. That would be nice.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Kajagoogoo.
Kajagoogoo who?
Kajagoogoo, who's with Belinda Carlisle, Kathy Barry, a grad from EastEnders. Oh. I'd like to see that. Good night. You've been listening to Iain Lee.
Oh, God. We've been reviewed in The Observer. Line 2, you're on the wireless.
Yesterday a morning came, a smile upon your face. Caesar's palace, morning glory, silly human race. On a sailing ship to nowhere, leaving any place. If the summer changed to winter, yours is no disgrace.
Now, who knows what that was? Do you know what that was? That sounded like a nice song. I'm imagining he didn't write that himself. But that sounded like... I don't know. That was me! Oh, that is that from when the film I made at Balcony Shirts? Is that what that is? I don't know. God, I dumped myself then. Man alive. You heard that again. If you're watching on Periscope, you would have heard that. Line 1, you're on the wireless.
Help, Ian.
Hello, mate.
All right. Did you get that? I rang up about 10 minutes ago with the seeds. Did you?
Oh, was that you? I didn't realise, Ross.
Yeah. Did you hear it?
It stopped just before they started playing.
Oh, do you want a quick blast?
Yeah. Go on.
So I just want to introduce you to this music because I know you're a muso.
Yeah, I'm well.
Bloody iPhone locking, screen locking.
Yeah, bloody iPhone locking, screen locking. Go on, let's have it. Line 1, you're on the wireless.
Hello, Iain Lee. Me, Sir Jar Jar Binks. Master Skywalker is too busy to come to the phone and talk to you. You may direct your questions at me, and I will get back to you.
You ruined Star Wars.
I will do the thing about Star Wars.
I only watched, because I've got boys now, 6 and 4, so they love Star Wars, and I'd only seen the first two, Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, and I always thought they were a little bit silly. And I only watched Return of the Jedi last year. Yeah, it's good, but the ones I was watching were the digitised, the ones where he's put all, like, giant slugs in it, and then the ghosts at the end and stuff. But then I watched...
The weird Jabba the Hutt isn't a puppet where he's CGI.
Yeah, all that stuff. I was rubbish. And then I watched the first 3, right? The first one, is that Phantom Menace?
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah, I agree.
Second one, Revenge of the... Clone Wars.
Attack of the
Clones. Quite like that. Third one, Revenge of the Sith. Best Star Wars film in the whole series. No. But celebrity guest who we can't mention. You're just saying that because you've been programmed to say that. The best story. It looks awful. It looks like a video game from the late 90s because of all that horrible CGI stuff. Hardly anything in it is real. Best, it is filthy. The bit where he goes around and he kills all the kids because he goes nuts. The bit where he's in the fiery lake and he gets his arms and his legs chopped off and he's like... Oh, he's doing it's just bleak. It's just battle after battle after battle after battle. It's brilliant. If they should remake that one using the director from this one. Basically, it looked like if they made it so it looked like a film, not a computer game. Boom, I'm in. Oh, and that caller disappeared there because I think I offended them so much. Let's try this one. Line 1, you're on the wireless.
That guy from HSBC.
Yes.
Get him in the studio.
No. I don't think.
No, I think you should talk to him about anything except banking. Like Mark Hamill with Star Wars. Just talk to him about anything except banking.
Oh, okay, we can ask him about why. Here's the thing. For a guest, we'll just ask them, why do they like the Kinks so much?
But yeah, exactly. Anything that is out of his comfort zone, just talk to him about that for 3 hours.
Beautiful. We can do that. Hey, I've been told I'm up to nearly 1 million hearts on Periscope. That's a lot of hearts. They've been busy tonight. Sorry, Nick. I think we've nicked all your listeners. Line 2, you're probably the last call of the night.
Hello, Balcony Shirts. How can I help?
Okay, yes, it's from a film I made. All right, thank you very much. Do you know what? I think we've done enough. We never gave away the Tommy James book. I think we got close to. I want Fridays to be a little bit different from the rest of the week. We're not going to have a guest on Fridays, and I want it to be a little bit different and a little bit. I'm going to say it's special, and I think we got close today to what I had in my head when I was driving in and stuck in really bad traffic and really bad weather, which is good because I know that I couldn't verbalise it. But I think tonight we just jump forward a little bit further into the evolution of the show. Sounds a bit pretentious, I know, and I keep saying it, but it's not. I mean it with my heart. Id, thank you. Kath, thank you very much. We'll be back on Monday at 10. Ta-ta.
Talk Radio. Digital debate for the UK.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.